Naruto God Level System, Chapter 61-80. Chapter 61 Naoki, what's wrong with your nose? Go back to the village. The situation in the ninja world is tense now, and I may not have time to take you on a mission. Tsunade said to the three of Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen's eyes narrowed, and then he asked, are you going to start the ninja war? Yeah, Konoha's ninja troops have been assembled and are heading towards the border. A Megakure village sent people to attack our Konoha stronghold, causing Konoha to suffer heavy losses, and they must return with revenge. Hyuga-chen was surprised. Hanzo of the Salamander was so bold, he actually took the initiative to stroke Konoha's tiger whiskers. The courage of a Megakure village. Hanzo of the Salamander is known as a demigod in the ninja world. He is indeed powerful. He is ambitious and wants to take a share in this battle, and wants to take the opportunity to become the 6th largest ninja village. Hyuga-chen smacked his lips. He didn't expect Hanzo to have such great courage at this time. You must know that the geographical location of the country of rain is not good. It happens to be sandwiched by the country of fire, the country of wind and the country of earth, and it is bordered by 3 major countries at the same time. Hanzo is a poisonous man, and has great strength. It can be said that he is the strongest in the ninja world right now. The 10th generation old man may not be able to take him down. It is normal to have such ambitions. Tsunade didn't find it strange. The strongest ninja right now should be the 3rd generation Raikage. I thought of the man who was known as the strongest spear and the strongest shield. If you don't count Hyuga-chen and Uchiha Madara, the 3rd generation Raikage is definitely the strongest right now, except that the brain is a bit difficult to use. The 3rd generation Raikage seems to have no shortcomings. To be honest, Hyuga-chen doesn't know why. As the head of the village, he likes to break up for his subordinates. This is the case with the 2nd generation of Hokage and the 3rd generation of Raikage. 3 generations of Raikage. I don't know that. Konoha doesn't have much information about Kumogakure village, but I heard that 3 generations of Raikage have the same strength as Yao, so I don't know if it's true or not. Tsunade shook his head and said. However, according to our Konoha spies' investigation, Kumogakure village is also about to move, but the target seems to be Iwagakure village. After going out for a while, I found out that Konoha is better. Hyuga-chen said with emotion after returning to Konoha. Chen, are you out of the village? Naoki asked enviously. Hyuga-chen didn't expect to meet Naoki, and Hyuga-chen and the others quickly covered their noses and walked away. Naoki, you fell into the toilet, why is it so stinky? Hyuga-chen said in disgust. The good mood that I had just returned to the village was instantly ruined by the smell of Naoki's body. You idiot, hurry up and wash me, don't be embarrassed on the street, the Senju family's face has made you embarrassed. Tsunade looked at Naoki standing on the street, feeling very embarrassed. The smell of his whole body made people on the street point and curse, but Naoki didn't take it seriously. I don't want this either. Teacher Orochimaru gave us a task to clean the pigsty in the pig farm, but I didn't feel that smelly. Naoki still sniffed at him. Hyuga-chen watched this scene, speechless. The stench could be smelled from a distance of 10 meters, but Naoki still didn't think it stinks. This nose must be broken. Tsunade, as a medical ninja, not knowing that his brother's nose is broken is a dereliction of duty. Go home and clean me, or someone will complain to you at the Hokage building tomorrow. Tsunade scolded Naoki back. I originally wanted to invite you to dinner, can you still eat now? Hyuga-chen shook his head. Forget it. I don't know if Naoki knew that you wanted to treat guests, and in order to save your money, he came here to discuss us on purpose. I'll invite you to dinner another day. This is your reward for this mission. Tsunade took out the mission reward and handed it to Hyuga-chen. Isn't the reward waiting for the task to be completed and will be released after the task is submitted? Hyuga-chen asked in surprise. Before the task, I asked the 3-generation-old man to come. Anyway, we can definitely complete this task, and the 3-generation-old man gave it directly. Hyuga-chen, Makoto, and Kushina looked shocked. They didn't expect such an operation. Go back and rest. I may be going to the battlefield tomorrow. In the next period of time, if you want to do a task, just go and pick it up yourself. With Chen here, I can rest assured of you. Tsunade gave a few words to the three. Sister Tsunade, if there is a Jinchuriki column force on the battlefield, remember to send me a letter. Haha tilde I used to call Tsunade Tsunade all the time, but now it's used by me, and now I know I'm calling my sister again, it really makes me sad. Tsunade sneered and stretched out his hand, viciously, kneading Hyuga-chan's face. Although Hyuga-chan was helpless, he didn't resist, who asked him to ask Tsunade. Otherwise, let Hyuga-chan find someone Jinchuriki column force, he doesn't have so much spare time. Although Hyuga-chan knows the situation of most people's Jinchuriki column power, it does not mean that Hyuga-chan can find it. The whole ninja world is so big, where can you find people's Jinchuriki column power? Don't look at Akatsuki, it's easy to find people Jinchuriki column force, that's because countless white Zetsu's search for more than 10 years of credit. Sister Tsunade, did you agree? Seeing Tsunade finally let go of his face, Hyuga-chan rubbed first, and then asked. Although I don't know what you are going to do, I will give you attention. You have to be careful. If it is exposed, you are the public enemy of the entire ninja world. Tsunade reminded Hyuga-chan. By the way, where did you get that cloak 610, and the word, justice, is written on it? These two words are not suitable for you. Tsunade looked contemptuous, and the sneaky Hyuga-chan could not talk about justice. Moreover, he has been in contact with Hyuga-chan for many years, and Tsunade also knows Hyuga-chan very well. Justice and him are basically two opposite paths. Oh, don't mention it, it's all tears. Hyuga-chan waved his hand, not wanting to say anything at all. That navy cape was actually drawn by Hyuga-chan by lottery, and he couldn't say it if he didn't want to. But tomorrow is Hyuga-chan's 10th birthday, so there will be a lottery tomorrow, and I don't know what to draw. Hope you feel better. After returning home, Makoto went to cook. Hyuga-chan and Kushina lay on the sofa and turned on the TV to watch TV. Kushina also clearly recognizes his cooking level, so he doesn't go to the kitchen to help out. Hyuga-chan is very satisfied with this, but I didn't expect Kushina to be very pushy. Knowing that what you make is not for people to eat, you simply don't cook. Hyuga-chan is most afraid that Kushina can't recognize himself, but he has personally tried Kushina's cooking, and he can only say that it is a little better than devil fruit. Just a few minutes, Makoto finished cooking. Don't ask why so fast, let's learn about Shadow Clone. Chapter 62 Birthday Confession Tsunade. Why are all vegetarian dishes? Hyuga-chan was a little dissatisfied. Although he wasn't fond of meat, he still had to eat meat. Ninja training consumes a lot of money, and you must eat more meat to supplement it, otherwise it may cause your body to be deficient. Sorry Chen, I don't want to cook meat these days. Makoto smiled apologetically. This mission, the scene of blood and flesh, still brought a great psychological impact on her, and it must take a few days to recover. It's okay to not eat meat for a few meals anyway. Hyuga-chan waved his hand, then lowered his head to deal with the food on the table. I have to say that Makoto's cooking talent is absolutely top-notch. Makoto's cooking is the best Hyuga-chan has ever eaten. There is no soup left on the large table. After eating, Hyuga-chan stroked his stomach and lay on the sofa. I'm so full, I seem to have eaten enough. You deserve it, who made you so useless and forced to eat so much? Kushina said gloatingly. What right do you have to say to me, you are still lying on the sofa and can't walk, be careful to eat into a big fat girl, then I will not want you. Hyuga-chan countered. You dare, if you don't want me, then I'll bite you to death. Kushina also exposed his little tiger, Kiba, and threatened Hyuga-chan. Dare to threaten me, it seems that after so long, you started to jump up. Hyuga-chan jumped forward, then jumped on Kushina and started to tickle her. Hey, forgive me, I don't dare anymore. After finishing the housework, Makoto looked at Hyuga-chen and Kushina, who were fighting, with a smile on his face, then sat next to him and watched Kushina being bullied. Makoto, help me. Kushina couldn't breathe with laughter, and quickly turned to Makoto for help. Okay. Makoto gave Kushina a dark smile that made Kushina feel a little bad. Sure enough, Makoto didn't mean to help Kushina at all, but grabbed Kushina's calf and scratched Kushina's soul. Ha. Makoto, please let me go, I was wrong, please spare me. The living room, I kept thinking of Kushina's laughter and shouting. After playing for a long time, Makoto and Hyuga-chan let Kushina go. Kushina immediately looked at the two of them with resentment, especially Makoto. Kushina was embarrassed to see them. After watching TV for a while and chatting for a while, Hyuga-chen and the others went to rest. The next day, when Hyuga-chan got up from the bed, after washing his face and brushing Kiba, and eating the breakfast prepared by Makoto, Hyuga-chan was a little puzzled. Strange, what about Makoto and Kushina? Did they go out? Pushing open the door, Hyuga-chan walked to the small courtyard's training ground and started today's practice. Now Hyuga-chan is still mainly practicing body and swordsmanship. Holding Ryujin Jaka, he walks to the training ground and pulls it out gently. As Hyuga-chan pulled out Ryujin Jaka, the surrounding air was a little hot, as if Ryujin Jaka of Taiku Volcano was pulled out. The blade is covered with mysterious patterns, and the blade with a flickering cold light seems to be able to break through all obstacles. Since Hyuga-chan's swordsmanship uses ultimate strength and speed, the training is very simple, as long as you keep swinging the sword. With Ryujin Jaka's sharp Hyuga-chan, the only thing that makes Hyuga-chan dissatisfied is that Hyuga-chan cannot shikai at all. Even if Hyuga-chan called Ryujin Jaka's real name, he couldn't shikai, which made Hyuga-chan feel very worried. If it is not confirmed from the system that shikai can be made, Hyuga-chan will doubt that his Zanpakuto cannot shikai. Hyuga-chan also thought about communicating with Ryujin Jaka, but couldn't communicate at all. Finally, after asking the system several times, the system gave an answer that he was Ryujin Jaka. This answer left Hyuga-chan scratching his head, so he had no choice but to put it down temporarily. In fact, there is another way to make Ryujin Jaka shikai, that is Krypton Gold. This is the hidden function of the system, in the attribute panel, the function that Hyuga-chan discovered when he visited the system. He can improve his existing abilities by consuming exchange points, but this price is really dark. 1 million exchange points can be used for shikai, and Benkai needs 10 million exchange points. Frightened, Hyuga-chan hurriedly slipped away. He was just a poor man and couldn't afford to play the Krypton Gold game. Now Hyuga-chan is holding an artifact that can destroy the world, but it is unable to exert its power, not to mention how angry. By noon, Makoto and Kushina came back with large and small bags in their hands. What are you doing? What are these? Hyuga-chan curiously looked at the tightly wrapped box. This is a secret, I won't tell you. Kushina took the thing and dragged Makoto into the room. I don't want to know yet. Hyuga-chan pouted, probably the clothes that the second daughter bought or something. After eating at noon, Hyuga-chan was directly kicked out by the second daughter, which made Hyuga-chan very depressed. No way, Hyuga-chan had to go to the back mountain to practice, which happened to be a big place. It was not until evening that he returned home covered in sweat. Soon as the door was opened, there was a knock, which startled Hyuga-chan. What's the situation, Tsunade? You're here too, aren't you going to the battlefield? Hyuga-chan looked at the fireworks in the hands of the three girls with a question mark on his face. Isn't it your birthday today? Of course it's your birthday. Yeah, Makoto and I went to prepare early in the morning, you have to thank us well. For your birthday, I didn't even go to the battlefield. Seeing this scene, Hyuga-chan was really moved. He stretched out his hand and took all the three girls in his arms, and said softly, "Thank you. Chen, please let me go quickly. I'm not your girlfriend, so don't make a mistake. Tsunade's face turned pale. Yuhi, no longer as carefree as before. I like you, Tsunade, be my girlfriend. Hyuga Chen looked directly at Tsunade and said softly. After Makoto and Kushina heard it, they were not angry. If it was Tsunade, they would still be able to accept it. You, how can you do this? I'm almost 10 years older than you, and Makoto and Kushina are still here. Tsunade was shy like a little woman. Hee, if it's Tsunade-san, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind either, Makoto said with a small smile. You're a 10-year-old kid with a hair that hasn't even grown yet you've even learned to confess. Tsunade's shyness only lasted for a while, and then he returned to his bold and carefree appearance. Cough cough. Then do you agree or not? Hyuga Chen coughed awkwardly, then changed the subject. He is only 10 years old now, and if all his hair grows, he will be a ghost. Don't you care about our age gap? Tsunade asked hesitantly. I don't care, age is not important to me, even immortality is not impossible for us. Hyuga Chen said with great confidence. Chapter 63 Butu Soul Sword. Don't lie to me, there is no immortality in this world, but since you don't care about our age difference, then I promise you. Tsunade lowered his head and said softly. Actually Tsunade really liked Hyuga Chen, and it was a long time ago, when Hyuga Chen was very young. She didn't know what to do at that time. She fell in love with Hyuga Chen, this little brat, it was incredible. But like is like, there is no reason. Tsunade was secretly jealous for a while because of Makoto and Kushina. However, Tsunade never said it. One is embarrassed, and the other is concerned about the age gap and other people's opinions. Because Hyuga-chan was only 4 or 5 years old at the time, she was already 14 years old. If she said it out, someone would definitely say that she was Shota control, old cows eat young grass. So Tsunade has been hiding in her heart, but now Hyuga-chan doesn't care. She still cares about what they do. Does other people's opinions matter? Seeing Tsunade agree, Hyuga-chan put a smile on his face. But don't be too happy too soon. Maybe one day I don't like you and kick you away. Seeing Hyuga Tatsu's slightly amused smile, Tsunade said a little unhappily. Ha, there will never be that day. If you become my woman, you can only be my woman for the rest of your life. Hyuga-chen said domineeringly. Looking at the domineering Hyuga-chen, the three girls flashed an obsession. Why, are you confused by my domineering posture? I know that no matter what I do to a handsome man like me, I will fascinate a large group of women. Hyuga-chen said narcissistically. Oh, it turns out that it wasn't enough for Chen to get big sister Tsunade, and she wanted to charm a big group of women. Makoto said black-bellied, deliberately biting the big group of 3 words very hard. Tsunade and Kushina looked at Hyuga-chen, and their eyes were not very friendly. This guy was eating from the bowl and thinking about the scum in the pot. It's a pity that they don't know what the devil is. They actually like this scum, and they can't extricate themselves from it. I'm just joking. I want to pretend to be a coward. Why don't you be so serious? Hyuga-chen said helplessly, feeling the 3 little hands around his waist. In fact, he was really narcissistic, and wanted to pretend to be a coercion, but he did not pretend to be good, but instead pretended to be himself. However, a man like me is elegant and unrestrained, even if he doesn't pretend to be forceful, it's full of force. Hyuga-chen said secretly in his heart. Let's eat. I can smell the aroma of the food even when I stand at the door. Hyuga-chen took the 3 girls' hands away without a trace, and then changed the subject. Then go take a shower quickly. The smell of sweat all over your body really stinks. Kushina broke away from Hyuga-chan's embrace, pretending to be disgusted. Why didn't I smell the bad smell? Hyuga-chen took a sniff, and there was no sweat smell at all, but even so, you have to wash it off, otherwise your body will be sticky and uncomfortable. After taking a bath, Hyuga-chen put on a clean kimono, and walked to the table, watching the incomparably sumptuous dinner. Hyuga-chen's saliva almost came out. Didn't you say you don't want to eat meat? Today is your birthday. Naturally, everything will accommodate you. This is our birthday present to you. Kushina took out the previous package. There were 3 packages in total. Hyuga-chen looked at it, and opened Makoto's gift first, which contained a beautiful kimono. Looking at the exquisite kimono, Hyuga-chen smiled, making Makoto's face swell with yuhi. According to Japanese custom, when a girl gives a boy a kimono, it means staying together for a lifetime, and the gift Makoto gives directly represents her heart. Makoto is so cunning. Why didn't I think of giving a kimono? Kushina said with puffed cheeks. Although they went out to buy it together, Kushina doesn't know what gift Makoto bought, and of course, Makoto doesn't know what gift Kushina bought. Folding up the kimono, then looking at Kushina's oversized gift box, Hyuga-chan opened Kushina's gift and took it out. Hyuga-chan's face turned embarrassed. It was actually a hugging bear. Kushina, how do you give this thing? It seems more suitable for girls. Humph. Bring it if you don't like it. Kushina said angrily. Since it's a gift from Kushina, I naturally want to treasure it. Hyuga-chan opened the treasure of the king, and the golden yuhi-colored rays of light shone, making Tsunade's eyes narrow slightly. Hyuga-chen carefully put the hug bear into the king's treasure, and the hug bear sent by Kushina became the first treasure of the king's treasure. What kind of ninjutsu is this? It's really dazzling. Tsunade rubbed his eyes. Hyuga-chen smiled and didn't speak. Wangji's treasure is indeed high, but unfortunately it is empty now, otherwise it would be even higher. What gift did Sister Tsunade give? Makoto asked curiously. I'll find out when I open it. Tsunade smiled and didn't say anything. Tsunade's gift box is a long strip. Hyuga-chen opened the gift box, and a long knife with a golden pattern wrapped around the handle lay in the box. This is what I found in the family. It can cut iron like mud and is invincible. It is called the Budo Yusol sword, and it is the legendary sword. It's actually the Bodo Yusol sword. Is it the same name as the Ten-Fist sword and the Kusanagi sword? Hyuga-chen was very curious. The Ten-Fist sword and the Kusanagi sword are very famous in Hokage, but the Bodo Yusol sword has no reputation at all, and I don't even know if it exists or not. That's right. Tsunade nodded slightly. Hyuga-chen pulled out the Fudo Soul sword. The blade was extremely shining, the blade was flickering with cold light, and the edge could be felt from a long distance. Unlike Ryujin Jaka, if Ryujin Jaka is a silent volcano, extremely restrained, then the Budo Soul sword is a sharp-edged sword. Of course the two can't be compared. Even if Ryujin Jaka is not Shikai, with its sharpness and hardness, it is still better than the Fudo Soul sword. Thank you Tsunade for your gift, I will use it well in the future. Hyuga-chan opened the king's treasure again and put the Fudo Soul sword in it. Hyuga-chan could feel that the Fudo Soul sword seemed to resonate with Susanoo, and just now Hyuga-chan's eyes jumped. As long as you like it, eat now. Makoto bought the ingredients to make this cake, and it took a long time. Hurry up and try it. Tsunade took the knife and cut the big cake in the middle. I didn't finish the meal until midnight, because it was too late, and Tsunade didn't leave, so she stayed here for one night, and she was going to the battlefield tomorrow. After returning to the room, Hyuga-chen didn't rush to sleep, and went straight to the system space. There was a lottery waiting for him. If I don't draw the prize first, Hyuga-chen will definitely not be able to sleep tonight. Chapter 64 Devil Fruit Spree System Upgrade. Quickly clicking on the lottery, Hyuga-chen was stunned when he saw the prizes, all of which were big gift bags. Is this because the system saw that I received so many gifts, and gave me a gift bag too? Hyuga-chen said silently. System, what's in these gift bags? Open black lens bracket. Anything is possible. If you are lucky enough, it is no problem to get the Pengu Axe tilde closed black lens bracket. Hearing the long-lost mechanical sound of the system, Hyuga-chen was excited. It has been 10 years since he got the system, but the sound of the system he heard was very few. I don't expect any Pengu Axe, as long as it is useful to me. I don't want to get a batch of ornamental items. Hyuga-chan wouldn't expect anything like a pengu axe. Something of that level is not something he can play with. As long as it's not a waste, Hyuga-chan will burn high incense. There was no mark on the big gift bag, and after watching Hyuga-chan for a long time, I didn't see any difference, so I just drew the lottery directly. After clicking on the lottery, the pointer on the turntable spins rapidly, and finally stops on a gift bag. Get a devil fruit gift package, please check the host. After speaking, the system disappeared again, and a golden gift bag appeared in front of Hyuga-chan. Devil fruit gift pack. With this golden gift bag, Hyuga-chan was very entangled. Devil fruits are very weak. Unless the system has been modified, Hyuga-chan will never eat them. Open it first and have a look. If it doesn't work, keep it as a collection. In the shape of a devil fruit, it is indeed worth watching. After opening the devil fruit gift bag, and closing his eyes in advance, a dazzling golden light flashed, and 10 devil fruits with different shapes and patterns appeared in front of Hyuga-chan. One of them is a devil fruit that Hyuga-chan is very familiar with, that is the glitter fruit. Hyuga-chan brought it over to check it out. According to the introduction of the system, it was found that it was an ordinary glittering fruit, and Hyuga-chan immediately lost interest. Looking at the other 9 devil fruits, the first bug fruit, caterpillar form perfect, although it eliminates side effects, it is a fighter among the garbage, and it is useless. Smoke fruit, natural fruit. But it's not strong, and it has side effects, so I gave it up. Fruit perfect. This is the fruit of the Yuhi dog, absolutely powerful. With this devil fruit, this spree is not a loss. Wax fruit, canine fruit and husky form. Looking at these 2 fruits, Hyuga-chan immediately abandoned them. These 2 fruits have a hairy use. Husky fruit, are you kidding me? Continue to look at the other devil fruits. The dark fruit, but not the perfect fruit for system transformation, was also discarded. He threw it aside with the dark fruit, and even if it was a perfect Hyuga-chan, he would not eat it, let alone this. The next one is even more powerful, childlike fruit. If it is a childlike fruit that eliminates side effects, Hyuga-chan will definitely eat it without saying a word. This childlike fruit is definitely one of the most pervert devil fruits, but unfortunately its owner is not strong, otherwise who can resist childlike fruit? The other 2 are flower fruit perfect and thunder fruit perfect. Won't talk about the flower fruit first, let's talk about the thunder fruit, the devil fruit that Hyuga-chan is extremely envious of, although it is not necessary to get it, but I really want to get it. Just relying on the thunder fruit and rockberry fruit, this lottery is a big profit. Holding the ringing thunder fruit, Hyuga-chan ate it in one mouthful, the sourness I didn't want to mention. I will get the perfect Junjun fruit in the future, and I will never eat it. It's really unpalatable. Hyuga-chan left the system space and drank 2 buckets of water before recovering. Covering his bulging belly, Hyuga-chan activated the ability of the thunder fruit and turned into a ball of blue thunder. The current Hyuga-chan is not the former Hyuga-chan, and even if he has just obtained the thunder fruit, Hyuga-chan can still use its full power. After experimenting with the thunder fruit, Hyuga-chan returned to the system space again, collected the rockberry fruit and the wawa fruit, and then asked the system with the other fruits. Can you recycle the system? Yes, there is a recycling function in the lower left corner of the mall interface. After Hyuga-chan heard it, he clicked on the shopping mall interface, and after looking at it for a long time, he noticed the small words in the lower left corner, and immediately complained. Can the word be bigger? Prompt the host, the system panel has a zoom function. Damn it, you didn't say this earlier, you don't even have an instruction manual, your system is too incompetent. This system, which has no manual and is completely self-exploring, is too annoying. In view of the host's complaint, the system will start the upgrade in 2 hours. The time is unknown. During the upgrade period, you cannot draw prizes, and you cannot shop. You can only use the system's backpack function. In view of the inconvenience caused to the host will be specially rewarded with a compensation package. Hey, I'm just complaining. In fact, you don't need to upgrade the system, I think it's pretty good. Hyuga-chan shouted quickly. The system did not respond to him. Seeing this, Hyuga-chan had no choice but to click recycle, and select all the devil fruits except the rockberry fruit and the flower fruit to be recovered. Total of 450,000 exchange points were obtained, which made Hyuga-chan secretly scold the system for pitting, how to say that there were also 3 nature-type devil fruits in it, and this exchange point was actually changed. It's better to keep it if I knew it earlier. Hyuga-chan sighed. In fact, he chose to recover these devil fruits. In fact, he wanted Krypton Gold to open the Shikai of Ryujinjaka. It seems to be out of play now. Addition to the previous exchange points, Hyuga-chan's exchange points already have 600,000. Looking at the mall page, Hyuga-chan spent 100,000 exchange points to buy the Sage Mode training method. This is still just buying the cultivation method. If you choose to learn Sage Mode directly, you will need 500,000 exchange points, which will directly increase the exchange points by 5 times. In the mall, those S-rank ninjutsu are only 100,000, and they have been learned directly, which shows how expensive Sage Mode is. However, the practicality of Sage Mode is very strong, stronger than most Kekkei Genkei. The big Jinchuriki column Sun hangs Uchiha Madara is because there is Sage Mode, which is what Uchiha Madara wants. The reason why Hyuga-chan didn't choose to learn it directly is that in addition to saving exchange points, the more important Hyuga-chan practice Sage Mode is very simple. Hyuga-chan has the body of a fairy, and is born close to natural energy. The most important thing is that Hyuga-chan is not afraid of failure. Practice Sage Mode, you will become a part of nature, but Hyuga-chan, who takes the glitter fruit and the thunder fruit, is already a part of nature, so she is not afraid of failure. At this time, choosing a cheap cultivation method is naturally more cost-effective than directly learning it. As a poor person, you will be able to live, and Hyuga-chan is a master who is very careful. Chapter 65 Eat the Kushina of Rock Berries. Buying the Sage Mode, Hyuga-chan closed the system mall. The 500,000 exchange points are not too much, and Hyuga-chan can't afford anything he likes, so let's save it first. After closing the system mall, Hyuga-chan opened the backpack, and then clicked on the compensation package given by the system. There are 2 things in total, one of which is Mangekyo, S. Hidemitsu Amaterasu, and a scroll, the Kekkei Mora Fusion Scroll. The function is that after entering the 6 paths level, after using this scroll, you can directly merge the 7 nature transformations of fire, wind, earth, water, thunder, yin and yang to obtain Kekkei Mora. This scroll is very useful for Hyuga-chan. It is not that after becoming 6 paths, you will have Kekkei Mora. Although Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, and Kekkei Mora share the power of yin and yang, they are not the same thing. It can be said that those who have Kekkei Mora must have Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, but those who have Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, do not necessarily have Kekkei Mora. The mysterious body art of 80 Gods Vacuum Attack, which Hyuga Tatsu obtained, cannot be used because Hyuga Tatsu does not have Kekkei Mora. Although Hyuga-chan has been transformed and can be used, its power has been greatly reduced, and it is basically useless. Hyuga-chan is still very satisfied with the compensation and rewards this time. The only thing he is dissatisfied with is that the system is temporarily unavailable. Leaving the system space, Hyuga-chan was holding a dark yuhi-colored devil fruit with a faint smell of sulfur in his hand. This is the rockberry fruit in the natural system, the devil fruit of Akainu, and the rockberry fruit is definitely the top-ranked devil fruit among pirates. When Hyuga-chan took it out, he didn't intend to eat it by himself. To be honest, he was fed up with the taste of devil fruit. And Hyuga-chan is also not lacking in means. He doesn't need rockberry fruit at all. He took it out to give to Kushina, so that Kushina can improve his strength. I hope Kushina won't hit me after eating it, Hyuga-chan said with a smirk. The taste of devil fruit must be tried by others. If you want to get powerful power, how can you not pay? If you suffer a little sin, you can gain great strength. If you say it, there will definitely be someone crying and shouting for this opportunity. After waking up, Tsunade had already left for the battlefield. Makoto and Kushina also got up. Makoto was cooking, and Kushina was sitting on the sofa watching TV. "The lazy pig is up," Kushina said, looking at Hyuga-chan. "Kushina, I'll give you a delicious fruit." After a smirk, Hyuga-chan took out the rockberry fruit. "Haha I still want to deceive Miss Ben. Miss Ben is not that easy to deceive. Just look at the fruit in your hand and you can see that it is not normal." Kushina sneered. "Everyone knows the shape of the devil fruit. If you don't know the power of the devil fruit, no one will dare to eat it. This strange shape can scare away a group of people. Okay, I admit, this fruit is really not tasty, but it can enhance your strength, so that your strength can catch up with Makoto." Hyuga-chan seduced Kushina. Hyuga-chan knows that Kushina is competitive and strong, and originally had almost the same strength as Makoto, but now she is definitely not reconciled to being overtaken by Makoto, and wants to catch up with Makoto. This is also the reason why Hyuga-chan gave the rockberry to Kushina. With rockberry fruit, and then learning Sage Mode, the strength can definitely catch up with Makoto, which makes Kushina feel a little better. "Really, you're not lying to me, are you?" Kushina questioned. Hyuga-chan lightly tapped Kushina on the head. "I will lie to you, this little fool, you know that I can become light. It is the ability obtained by eating such a fruit. You can turn into magma by eating this fruit." After hearing that, Kushina stared at the rock fruit with radiant eyes. Hyuga-chan, who was just about to hand it to Kushina, suddenly patted his head and said, "Go out and eat. Otherwise, if you use the ability to produce rock berries, our family will not want it. Makoto, let's go out for a while, you can eat first." After Makoto responded, Hyuga-chan took Kushina and teleported away in space. Hyuga-tatsu and Kushina left. Makoto came out with a spoon. "These two guys, when you come back, see how I teach you a lesson." Makoto was angry that she had already made her breakfast, and they left. With Kushina, he left Konoha Shinobi Village by teleporting directly, and came to a barren mountain, and then Hyuga-chan handed the rock berry to Kushina. After Kushina took it, he couldn't wait to eat it, and then immediately covered his mouth with tears in his eyes. After Hyuga-chan saw it, he handed a bottle of water to the schadenfreude. He already knew this situation, so he prepared water in advance. After a long time, Kushina, who had recovered, glared at Hyuga-chan fiercely. "This thing is too unpalatable, Chen, you rascal lied to me." Kushina burst into tears. "I didn't lie to you, unpalatable can be said to be its only shortcoming. If you don't believe me, you can feel the state of your body." Kushina felt it and found that she could control her body to turn into lava, and she could also create lava and burn everything. Kushina threw a fist at the nearby hill, and the fist made of magma flew out and hit the hill, and half of the hill was shattered and melted by Kushina. "It's so powerful, it's called Lava Fist," Kushina said in surprise. After that, Kushina continued to use the ability of rock fruit with this mountain, and this poor mountain has been beaten into a small hill of lava. However, Kushina is very happy. This ability to release magma without hand seal is really cool. After a long time, it didn't stop until Kushina's chakra and physical strength were exhausted. Hyuga-chan immediately went up to support Kushina, so that Kushina would not stand firm and fall to the ground. "This little fruit is so strong, it can actually make people get Kekkei Genkei, it's really powerful." Kushina grabbed Hyuga-chan excitedly and said. Hyuga-chan just smiled at this. This is because he drew rock berries, and if the 0.8 he drew was burnt fruit, Kushina would have complained about being weak. Rockberry is a fruit that explodes as soon as it comes up, and burning fruit needs to be continuously developed to increase the temperature. Moreover, it is still unknown to what temperature the burning fruit can be raised. Devil fruit has a limit, who knows how far burning fruit can be improved in the end. If it can be developed to the level of Ryujin Jaka, it will be invincible. "Let's go back. The two of us ran out for so long, I think Makoto might be angry." Holding Kushina, he used the pupil technique to teleport and returned home immediately. The two of them came back. They saw Makoto standing in the living room holding his waist, looking at them angrily. Hyuga-chen and Kushina sneered. "I'll warm up the food for you. If there is another time, I won't cook for you," Makoto said a little angrily. Chapter 66 Sea-Level Tasks. Makoto, I got a keke genkai. After the meal, Kushina, who had regained his strength, said excitedly to Makoto. Really? What kind of keke genkai? Makoto was also happy for Kushina after hearing that. Kushina, if you don't want to ruin our house, don't use it at home, Hyuga-chan said quickly. Just in case Kushina wants to demonstrate rockberry fruit on a whim, why not turn the house into lava? Understood, I am measured, Kushina assured Hyuga-chan. Then Kushina stretched out her hand and turned her arm into lava. The surrounding temperature continued to rise. The flammable objects in the living room began to smoke, and then the sofa table and chairs were set on fire. Kushina, stop quickly, the sofa is on fire. Kushina saw the situation in the room, and quickly put away the magma, then stuck out her tongue and put out the fire together with Hyuga Tatsu and Makoto. What am I saying? I think we can still tear down the house and rebuild it. Hyuga-chen looked helpless. Their houses are all made of wood and can't stand the fire at all. Although the flames were quickly extinguished, they are still burning in tatters. Kushina looked embarrassed, because she wanted to show off the ability of the rockberry, and actually burned the house down. Our family's money doesn't seem to be enough to rebuild the house. Makoto frowned. Makoto is in charge of the family's money and knows this very well. Alas, if only there were Mokuden wood style, a big house could be rebuilt in minutes, and it would be strong and durable. Hyuga-chen sighed. Why don't we take the task and make money? Kushina suggested weakly. That's the only way. Hyuga-chen nodded. He couldn't make money by gambling anymore. The main thing is that without Tsunade, Hyuga-chen, who knows nothing about gambling, is basically impossible to make a lot of money in the casino. Pack up the things at home, and then repair the holes first, and you won't be able to make money for a while. Now you still have to live in this somewhat dilapidated house. How can you live without repairing it? Go take a quest. It's better to be a quest issued by the rich man. After repairing the house, Hyuga-chan said with a twinkle in his eyes. What kind of way to get money fast, of course, is to rob. It is said that the gold belt is murdered and set on fire. Hyuga-chen is ready to rob the rich to help the poor. Anyway, he is not a good person, and there is no burden to do such a thing. What's the difference between making money and making money with strength? Is it worthy of my strong strength? Came to the place where the task was awarded, Hyuga-chen frowned and selected. He didn't care about the reward. What he cared about was whether his employer was a fat sheep or not. Chen, are you here to take over the mission too? Hearing someone call him, Hyuga-chen turned around and saw that it was Minato. There are also Uzumaki Tomoko and Akamichi Dodo of the Akamichi family who were with him. It turned out to be Minato. Where's your team leader, Jiraiya? Did you go to the battlefield? Yeah, the teacher left the village yesterday. Long time no see, Tomoko. Are you here for a mission? Kushina asked, walking to Uzumaki Tomoko. Yeah, Kushina, you haven't seen you for a long time. After seeing Kushina, a smile appeared on Uzumaki Tomoko's face. Yo, what day is it today? I didn't expect to meet you here. Yamanaka Inoichi said in the distance. In addition to Akamichi Choza and Nara Shikaku behind him, there are members of Nawaki, Hyuga Hazashi and Inazuka Claw. It's such a coincidence. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched. The teacher left Konoha to go to the battlefield. We can only pick up the task ourselves. I didn't expect to meet you by chance. Nawaki ran over and said. Nawaki, is your nose healed? Hyuga-chan teased. Nawaki felt embarrassed on his face, turned his head away and didn't want to talk to Hyuga-chan, and exposed his shortcomings as soon as he came up. You little bastards are here to pick up the tasks. Let me see what tasks are suitable for you. The uncle from the task management office took out a list and handed it over. Naoki brought it over immediately, glanced at it, and threw the list back. Uncle, we are already ninjas, don't let us do these tasks such as weeding, picking manure, and catching wild cats all day long. Naoki said dissatisfiedly. He is determined to become Hokage, how can he keep doing these tasks that are not on the table? Saving the world and conquering the ninja world is the task of his future Hokage. I have to say that Naoki has a big heart, but unfortunately he is not strong enough. Boy, ninjas don't do games, just graduated genins like you are supposed to do this kind of task. But looking at so many of you, there is a C-level task here. If you are a partner, I will give this task to you. Naoki got excited when he heard it. C-level tasks are much better than D-level tasks. Okay, let's work together. Please give us the task quickly. Naoki didn't ask other people's opinions, and responded directly. Hyuga-chan felt a little dissatisfied. He wanted to find a big fat sheep to slaughter, but he didn't have time to complete any C-level tasks with Naoki. Naoki, why did you promise to do it so quickly? Take a look at the task first. If it doesn't suit me, I won't work with you to complete this task. This task is to escort Yamada, a super businessman in the Land of Rain, to build the Land of Rain. Generally, there is no danger, so I'll leave it to you. Will you take it? Hyuga-chan's eyes lit up. Super big businessman, wouldn't that be very rich? Then Hyuga-chan realized that something was wrong. If this quest 720 was placed in normal times, it could indeed be regarded as a C-level quest, but now it was during the Great Ninja World War. This kind of task is a bit nonsense. It is not an exaggeration to be considered a B-level task. It is definitely not something that a group of genins who have just graduated can complete. Okay, we've accepted this task. Naoki took the task list and signed his name on it. It doesn't matter if you signed it yourself, at least it is valid only if you all sign it, said the uncle who managed the task. Tishin, Minato, Shikaku, you are willing to do those D-level tasks, let's do this C-level task together. Naoki looked at them with pitiful eyes. Let's go to this task. Hyuga-chan took the task list and signed his name on it. What the hell is wrong with him? Anyway, Hyuga-chan is bold and the most important thing now is to make money. Minato didn't think much about it and signed his name directly. Minato was also ambitious, and he didn't want to do those tasks of weeding and farm work. When Nara Shikaku was about to say something, Yamanaka Inoichi took the task sheet and signed his name on it. Nara Shikaku glared at Inoichi helplessly, leaving Yamanaka Inoichi somewhat baffled. Since you have taken over the task, then go to the village early tomorrow to wait for the employer. This is the appearance of the employer. The uncle who sent the task gave Naoki a portrait. Chapter 67 Tricky Task. After graduation, we finally got together. I'll invite you to dinner. Naoki, it looks like you are rich, you dare to invite me to dinner. Yamanaka Inoichi looked at Naoki in surprise. There are two big eaters here. Yamanaka Inoichi really wants to know where Naoki got such a big courage. This is all my reward for picking shit the day before yesterday, plus my years of savings, enough to treat you to a meal. Naoki proudly took out his bulging wallet. Naoki, you guy, you don't want to invite us. Kushina said angrily. It's okay to say that you have dinner, and you have to mention the matter of picking dung. Isn't that disgusting them? No, Naoki scratched his head, wondering why everyone around him was staring at him. Let's go, don't talk to the second-hand Naoki. Hyuga-chan pulled Kushina and Makoto and walked towards the barbecue restaurant. Since Naoki is a treat, he must be slaughtered and go directly to the best kebab restaurant in Konoha. Chen, the ramen shop is over there, you went to the wrong place. Hyuga-chan stumbled and almost fell to the ground. I said Naoki, coexisting with your arrogant appearance, is to invite us to eat ramen. Hyuga-chan said dissatisfiedly. Naoki scratched his head in embarrassment, and then said, the money I have in my hand, at most, is to invite you to eat ramen. Forget it. Let me treat you, Nara Shikaku said. It's still Shikaku's strength, you can tell it's a rich man by listening to his tone. Hyuga-chan praised. Chen, you have to be merciful. This is the pocket money I have accumulated for several years. Don't eat it all at once. Nara Shikaku reminded me. Please Hyuga-chan and Akamichi Choza, the two big eaters, his pressure is not small. After arriving at the barbecue restaurant, Hyuga-chan and Akamichi Choza began to order food, and the attitude was not polite at all. The corner of Nara Shikaku's mouth twitched, and he felt a little distressed. After eating and drinking, Nara Shikaku began to talk about the main topic. Go back the task you received today. This task is obviously wrong. Naoki jumped up when he heard the words, no, why don't I feel something is wrong? This is our first sea-level mission, how can we give up? That's you, we've already done sea-level tasks. Kushina said slightly, although Kushina is very strong, but he is only 10 years old and likes to show off. Could it be that when you came back from outside the village that day, you just came back from a sea-level mission? Naoki had a look of envy on his face. I'm talking right now, Nara Shikaku said helplessly, making everyone's eyes focus on him. They all knew that Shikaku was smart and wanted to hear what he had to say. This is not a time of peace, the border has been chaotic, as soon as the large army arrives, there will be a full-scale war, and the country of rain is the battlefield. Our mission is to escort people to the land of rain. This is definitely not a C-level mission, at least a B-level mission, or even an A*level mission. For us without John's leadership, it is very dangerous. Nara Shikaku said with a serious face. I finally received a C-level mission. I will not give up. Even if you don't go, I will go by myself. Naoki said unwillingly. Tatsu, what are your thoughts? Nara Shikaku looked at Hyuga Tatsu. Me, Hyuga-chen, who was whispering to Makoto and Kushina, was stunned for a moment, and then said with a smile, I'm definitely going to do a mission. If I don't do it, it's useless, I can only make a little money by doing the mission. I'm going to tell you something serious. Can you be serious? It's serious, I'll definitely go, but I advise you to think about it. The task this time is indeed not easy, and it is very likely to be a conspiracy. Hyuga-chen glanced at the people present. Since I have taken over the task, I must do it. Namikaze Minato looked firm. Oh, forget it, it's good to have someone to take care of when we go together, but after finding out that something is wrong, don't worry about any tasks and retreat immediately. Nara Shikaku could only helplessly shake his head. The next morning, Hyuga-chen, Makoto and Kushina came to the entrance of the village together, and Naoki and the others were already waiting here. Chen, you guys are too slow. We've been waiting here for a long time. Naoki was a little dissatisfied with Hyuga-chen and the others. What's the use of you being here, not waiting here? After that, Hyuga-chen and Makoto and Kushina had a close relationship and began to abuse these single dogs. Naoki ate a shriveled, and then was forcibly fed a handful of dog food, which made him feel uncomfortable. Originally because of the good mood of being able to leave the village, this time is gone. Until after 9 o'clock in the morning, a man with a mean face and a short stature came over, accompanied by a few guards. Naoki took out the portrait and saw that it was the goal of the mission, so he hurried up to meet him. Before Naoki could speak, Yamada Kenji said in a mean tone, You brats with no hair, you are the ones who protected me this time. Konoha's ninjas are getting worse and worse, and I will definitely not release missions in Konoha next time. Quote. A hashtag appeared on Naoki's forehead, and the anger in Naoki set his hair on fire. Fortunately, Hyuga Hazashi went up to hold him, otherwise Naoki might beat Kenji Yamada who posted the task. Let's go. Go and register. Hyuga-chen pulled Makoto and Kushina and went to the gate to register first. The management of each ninja village is very strict. Entry and exit of the village must be registered, otherwise it is not allowed to leave the village at all. Registration was very fast. Hyuga-chen and the three of them finished registration. Nara Shikaku and Naoki also started to register. When Uzumaki Tomoko was around, the ninja guarding the gate stopped. Although the ninja guarding the gate did not know Uzumaki Tomoko, he had seen the portrait of Uzumaki Tomoko. Anbu had already ordered that Uzumaki Tomoko was forbidden to leave the village, and even her portrait was posted. They can leave the village, but you. Chunin Asama, come here, I have something important to tell you. A ninja dressed in black with a fox mask on his face appeared. Seeing that the person who came was dressed, Chunin Asama, who was the gatekeeper, hurried over. This is Anbu's person. Who knows if there will be any major incident. A few minutes later, Chunin Asama came back again, and without asking any more questions, he gave Uzumaki Tomoko a certificate of leaving the village. Hyuga-chen, who looked listless beside him, narrowed his eyes, and there was a hint of playfulness in his eyes. Uzumaki Tomoko is a human Jinchuriki column force, and was able to be released from the village, and Hyuga-chen did not feel that someone was secretly following Uzumaki Tomoko. You must know that it was yesterday that Hyuga-chen also noticed that Anbu's ninja was monitoring Uzumaki Tomoko, but today there is no one, and he released the Jinchuriki column force from the village. It's really interesting. A smile appeared on the corner of Hyuga-chan's mouth. Chapter 68 Attacked. Mr. Yamada, why do you want to send a sea-level mission? The country of rain is not peaceful at this time. Nara Shikaku said sideways. Humph. How do you know my status in the country of rain? The name of the country of rain, and the demigods of the ninja world, also depends on my face. Who dares to touch me? I will send you a sea-level task to let you get rid of the little thief. Yamada Kenji said arrogantly. Hyuga-chan's eyes lit up, but he didn't expect it to be a big fish. If this fat sheep is slaughtered, I don't know how long it will last. Chen, what are you doing? There seems to be some malicious intent in your eyes. Kushina took Hyuga-chan's hand and whispered. Don't we need money? Don't you see that this is a rich person, and even the name has to give face? How much money does it take? Isn't it good for us to rob the rich and help the poor? That's a little bad, Makoto said hesitantly after hearing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, I don't like that short fat man, and this guy is not a good person at first glance. This matter is settled, Kushina said with a glint in his eyes. The good Makoto felt bad, but Kushina felt very exciting. Makoto, don't you want to make money so hard? You have seen the quest rewards. Even if you do hundreds of sea-level quests, it's not enough to renovate the house. We can't take more advanced quests. This is the fastest 157 way to get money. Quote. Hyuga-chen gave Makoto a hard-hearted persuasion. We are also doing good deeds. This guy looks like a rich guy. After we get the money, we can use it to help the poor. This is doing good deeds. Robbing the rich to help the poor, of course, they are the ones who help. Anyway, they are also poor, is it wrong? Hyuga-chan's absurd reasoning quickly convinced Makoto and recognized Hyuga-chan's robbing the rich to help the poor. Along the way, Yamada Kenji kept talking about his family history, showing off his huge wealth to show his greatness. Unbeknownst to him, he had been targeted by a greedy wolf. They are now walking in the land of fire, and the journey is very peaceful. There are not even a few thieves. This is also normal. The land of the country of fire is fertile and the climate is mild. As long as you are not too lazy, you can definitely live a good life. As a result, the country of fire has the fewest bandits and bandits in the country. It is precisely because the land of fire is fertile that other countries will spy on the land of fire. In particular, the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Earth are the most difficult. The conditions of these two countries are considered to be the most difficult. The Kingdom of Earth is relatively good, and the environment of the Kingdom of Wind is even worse. It's really boring. I didn't even encounter a little thief along the way. Is the sea-level mission that simple? Naoki complained boringly. Naoki, you'd better not be careless, or you will die from carelessness sooner or later. Hyuga-chan shook his head and said, He remembered that Naoki died in a trap. Maybe it has something to do with Naoki's character. Naoki is very careless, and to be honest, he is not suitable to be a ninja, let alone a Hokage. The closer you get to the country of rain, the more humid the air becomes. The climate in Hokage is also quite strange. It rains all year round in the country of rain. Living in the country of rain, you don't see the sun several times a year. The air on the border of the land of fire, which borders the land of rain, is also very humid, and the rain is also very abundant. It's been 8 or 9 days, and it's almost here. I knew I wouldn't take this boring task. Naoki complained. I heard you complaining along the way. I said, can you rest your mouth? These days I have been listening to Naoki complaining, and Naoki's teammate Inuzuka Claw is a little annoyed. Be careful, there are enemies. Hyuga Chen reminded faintly. As soon as Hyuga Tatsu finished speaking, 2 shadows flashed past and attacked Tomoko Uzumaki. Who dares to attack Tomoko? Kushina shouted, and appeared in front of Tomoko as quickly as possible. The hands turned into fiery lava, and the surrounding temperature continued to rise. Lava fist. The fists that turned into lava hit the past, and one of them was punched through the chest by Kushina. Everything was between lightning and flint, and when others looked over, they saw a corpse with a melted chest, and a man in black in the distance. Looking at this corpse, including the calm Namikaze Minato and the wise Nara Shikaku, his face turned pale. This was the first time they had faced a corpse, especially a corpse whose chest was melted by magma and exuded a burnt smell. It was good that they didn't spit it out. Ouch! Uzumaki Tomoko couldn't help but spit it out. Next, a chain phenomenon was triggered by Tomoko Uzumaki, and everyone else also vomited. Although they were mentally prepared, after seeing it, they couldn't bear it in their hearts, and they just wanted to vomit. Tell me, who are you? You attacked us. Kushina's expression turned cold. After the last mission, Kushina and Makoto have transformed, and they will not show mercy at all when facing the enemy. Looking at his ninja forehead guard, he seems to be from the village of Omegakure, but forehead guards can be obtained as long as you use snacks. Nara Shikaku wiped his mouth and said after calming down. Hyuga Chen didn't say a word. In fact, he had already guessed who the other party was. This kind of dark breath was like a mouse in the ground. There was no doubt that he was the root organization. This also explains why Uzumaki Tomoko was able to leave the village. This guy Danzo obviously wants to attack the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki column, which is not surprising for Hyuga Chen. This guy Danzo has been peeping at the powerful force. And the power of Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, is basically the strongest power in the ninja world, and his idea of hitting Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, is not surprising at all. The person who issued the mission before, and the person from Anbu later, are all from Danzo, but why doesn't the root organization have a dark atmosphere? Hyuga-chan was very puzzled. What Hyuga-chan didn't know was that only ninjas who had undergone special training at their roots had a dark aura. The ninja dressed in black did not speak, and looked at Kushina silently, without the slightest emotion over the death of his companion. Since you don't say it, then you will die for me. Magma flow. Hot magma spewed out of Kushina's mouth, rushing towards the black-clothed ninja, and all the places touched by the magma were melted by the hot magma. Kushina's ninjutsu is amazing. This should be Kekkei Genkei. Nara Shikaku knows better. What is Kekkei Genkei? Akamichi Choza, who is a scumbag, asked curiously. There are 2 kinds of Kekkei Genkei. One is the ability of a certain organ of the body that is different from ordinary people, and the other is the fusion of 2 kinds of chakra nature transformation. Nara Shikaku explained to Akamichi Choza. Chapter 69 More than 10 billion in hand. That's right. Our Senju family has Kekkei Genkei, that is the strongest escape technique Mokuden, wood style. If I can awaken Mokuden, wood style, I can definitely become Hokage. Naoki said yearningly. Naoki, who told you that the blood successor of your Senju clan tilde boundary is Mokuden, wood style? Naoki looked at Hyuga Chen strangely. This is recognized by the entire ninja world. is there something wrong? Of course not. In your entire Senju clan, apart from the first Hokage, who can awaken Mokuden wood style, your Kekkei Genkei, like the Uzumaki clan, are all sage body. Hyuga Chen explained lightly. How did you know, Chen? Nara Shikaku asked suspiciously. He didn't even know this. He also thought that Kekkei Genkei of the Senju family was Mokuden wood style. This is what I know from the data. Throughout the history, Yu Senju clan awakened Mokuden wood style, and that was the first Hokage. So Mokuden wood style is just the original Kekkei Genkei, not the Kekkei Genkei of your Senju clan, and it's not that you can't awaken Mokuden wood style, but it's hard. Hyuga Chen can't say that this is what I know from watching anime, and can only shirk it to check the information. In fact, Senju Hashirama's Mokuden wood style should be considered to be eliminated by blood, water, soil, and the vitality endowed by Yangdun. Yamato's one is Mokuden wood style Kekkei Genkei. While Hyuga Chen and the others were talking, Kushina had already dealt with another ninja. Chen, I'm amazing. Kushina proudly puffed out her chest at Hyuga Chen. It's just 2 Chunin-level little thieves. That's pretty powerful. Hyuga Chen waved his hands in disgrace. Kushina's cheeks immediately bulged, a little unhappy. Chen, you idiot, you don't know how to praise others. Kushina said, dissatisfied. Compliment you. If you want me to praise you, you should say it earlier. Kushina, you are so strong. You punched Six Paths Madara, kicked Kagaya Heim, and even the Six Paths Immortals shivered when they saw you. Hyuga-chan said with a teasing. Although Kushina didn't know who Hyuga-chan said about Six Paths Madara and Kagaya Heim, but she knew who the Six Paths Immortals were, and her compliments to Hyuga-chan were very useful. It's too exaggerated to make a joke about the legendary character of the Six Paths Immortal. Nawaki complained. What's the exaggeration? One day when the Six Paths fairy pops out and pretends to force me, I will call him to death for you to see. This is Hyuga Chen's true thoughts. Anyway, he feels that the Six Paths fairy is very pretending to be an old man. He must be slapped in the face, otherwise there is no difference with salted fish. Six Paths Immortals are just a legend, what do you call us? Nawaki looked at Hyuga Chen disdainfully, thinking he was pretending. As long as you don't die, you can definitely wait until that day. Hyuga Chen patted Nawaki on the shoulder, then turned to look at Kenji Yamada. You don't seem nervous at all. Why should I be nervous? Aren't you protecting me? Yamada Kenji said hesitantly in the face of Hyuga-chan's sharp eyes. Hyuga Chen gave him a deep look and said, I hope so. Hyuga Chen is sure that this guy is definitely related to Danzo, or that he is a pawn in Danzo's hands. You have to figure out, I am the employer, what is your attitude? Believe it or not, I will complain to you. Yamada Kenji said arrogantly. Hyuga-chan turned his head and stared at him with icy, ruthless blue eyes. The endless chill enveloped Kenji Yamada, making him feel like he had fallen into an ice cellar. After a while, Hyuga-chan looked away. At this time Yamada Kenji suddenly let out a sigh of relief, and then he calmed down, not even daring to look at Hyuga-chan. After half a day, Hyuga-chan and the others finally entered the country of rain. Smelling the rotten breath in the air, Hyuga-chan felt unhappy for a while. The perennial rain has caused all the branches and leaves of the trees to rot, and the odor emitted is absolutely unpleasant. The country of rain, like a cursed country, weeps every day. Hyuga-chan stood on the hillside and said with emotion. Kushina pouted. She knew Hyuga-chan very well, and knew that Hyuga-chan was pretending to be emotional. This country is a mess, and everyone we see has a numbness on their faces, Makoto said softly. I've been reduced to a battlefield, can I not be chaotic? Now I can understand Hanzo. Anyone who is bullied like this must fight back. The land of rain during World War II, it can be said that a small country, against 3 powerful countries, has not been destroyed. It is already very remarkable. However, in this period, the Kingdom of Rain was not as good as other countries in terms of its background, and other countries were not inferior to the 5 major countries. You three don't care about me, hurry up. I really have had enough of this damn weather. Naoki shouted to Hyuga-chen and the three of them. It took 5 days to hide and avoid all the ninjas, and finally completed this mission. I worked so hard to bring him back, but they didn't even let us in. Kushina said angrily. After that Yamada Kenji returned home, he immediately drove Hyuga-chen and the others away. That's right, this person is so unreal, he's still a big businessman. Don't talk about it, let's find a hotel to stay in. The rain is getting heavier and heavier. After finding a hotel, Hyuga-chen and the others temporarily rested here. Due to the lack of rooms in the hotel, Hyuga-chen, Makoto, and Kushina shared a room. Didn't you say that you want to rob the rich to help the poor? Let's go. That Yamada Kenji dared to drive us out. I don't want to make him look good. Kushina wanted to get angry when she thought of Yamada Kenji's face. No, I let Shadow Clone go before. It's estimated that Shadow Clone will be back soon. When sending Kenji Yamada home, Hyuga-chen used Shadow Clone without everyone knowing, and now it is estimated that he is about to succeed. Half an hour later, Hyuga-chen's Shadow Clone came to the hotel, threw a scroll to Hyuga-chen, and disappeared into smoke with a touch. Let's see how much money we have to renovate the house. Kushina rushed over, and Makoto came over curiously. There are too many, this room can't be opened, but at least there are more than 10 billion taels. More than 10 billion, how much does it cost? Kushina couldn't imagine. Makoto, who had no idea about money, was also surprised by the numbers Hyuga-chen said. Murder and set fire to the golden belt, this sentence is not wrong. Fortunately, Yamada Kenji likes to keep money at home. If it is stored in the bank, Hyuga-chen will have to work hard. Yamada Kenji was also slaughtered by Hyuga-chen's Shadow Clone, and his mansion was also set on fire. This is a real murder and arson. Chapter 70 Furious Sarutobi Hiruzen. After staying in the hotel for several days, Naoki felt like he was going to get moldy. What kind of bad weather is this? It's been raining for 3 days, and it hasn't decreased at all. Naoki said impatiently as he watched the pouring rain. It's useless to be anxious. The weather in the country of rain is so fucking bad. If it doesn't rain for 10 days in a year, it's already burning high incense. Hyuga-chen sat leisurely on the stool, enjoying calmly rubbing shoulders with Makoto and Kushina. I don't know why, but seeing you like this makes me want to beat you up. Naoki bit Kiba and gnashed his teeth. Same feeling. If you fight, count me as one. The winner of all evil in life. Women are a problem at all. I really don't know what you are envious of. Hyuga-chen looked at Nara Shikaku, who didn't know how to live or die, with an expression of admiration on his face. He dared to say such a thing. Expected, Kushina behind Hyuga-chen smashed Nara Shikaku out with a punch. How dare you look down on our women? Who of you dares to look down on our women? You have the ability to say it. Kushina pointed to Naoki, Hyuga Hazashi, Namikaze Minato and others. No one dared to say a word. For many years, they all knew of Kushina's violence. Many people were beaten by Kushina in school. And before, Kushina killed 2 not weak ninjas in an instant, and one of them didn't even leave a corpse, and now I feel terrified just thinking about it. Humph. A bunch of cowards. Kushina walked behind Hyuga-chen and squeezed his shoulder obediently. Naoki and the others immediately looked at Hyuga-chen with admiration. They really admired that Kushina could be so obedient. Hyuga-chen's face was calm, facing the envious and admiring eyes of Naoki and others. The surface was light and cloudy, but the darkness in his heart was extremely cool. Hyuga-chen and the others were relatively leisurely in the land of rain, and Konoha had already exploded. What are you doing to eat? A cubit 9 tails Jinchuriki column force you can't watch. Who told you to let the Jinchuriki column force out of the village? Sarutobi Hiruzen roared furiously. This was the first time he was so angry since he became a Hokage. Konoha's most important strategic weapon, cubit 9 tails Jinchuriki column force left the village, and it took him 10 days as a Hokage to know how not to be angry. Lord Hokage, after we were stunned, we were trapped. Even if we wanted to tell Lord Hokage, there was nothing we could do. Lord Hokage, Anbu asked me to let Uzumaki Tomoko go out of the village. Okay, you guys go down. Sarutobi Hiruzen let them go, distracted. Danzo, you have gone too far this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared angrily. Entire Konoha who could do such a thing without him was Danzo. After holding his breath for a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen brought in Deputy Minister Anbu and asked him to lead Anbu to find Tomoko Uzumaki, at any cost. Originally the most suitable person should be the minister of Anbu Hataki Sakumo, but Hataki Sakumo has already gone to the border to guard and can only be handed over to the deputy minister of Anbu. After the explanation, Sarutobi Hiruzen went to the route angrily to find Danzo to settle the account. Sarutobi, what are you doing here at my roots? Now the situation at the border is getting less and less optimistic. You are still thinking about it, and you are not worthy of being a Hokage at all. Danzo took the lead to rebuke without waiting for 3 generations to speak. Yes, I'm not suitable for Hokage, are you suitable? Sarutobi Hiruzen was dizzy with anger. Of course, it would be a mistake for the teacher to hand over the position of Hokage to you. If I become Hokage, I can definitely rule the ninja world. Danzo said shamelessly. Sarutobi Hiruzen was pissed off. I'm not talking nonsense with you. What's going on with the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force? What Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force? Danzo pretended to be dumbfounded. Don't pretend to be stupid. You dare say you didn't do it when the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force left the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen growled. What? Danzo slammed the table, stood up abruptly, pointed at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said, You actually let Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force leave the village. Do you know that Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki, the importance of column strength? I will convene the elders to impeach you. Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice rose a few degrees again. He came to ask for an explanation, but he didn't expect Danzo to deny it, even if he didn't admit it. Don't force me to dissolve the root organization. Sarutobi Hiruzen said coldly. This time Danzo was furious, pointing to the sky with anger and said, Don't forget, without me helping you secretly solve the previous elders, you were unstable in the position of Hokage, and now you want to cross the river and demolish the bridge. Sarutobi Hiruzen was at a loss for words. He did not leave the help of Danzo at the beginning. Although Danzo was also for his own interests, it did help him. I can tolerate other things, but about Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, you have to give me an account. Although he felt that he owed Danzo, Kyuubi, Nine-Tails couldn't give in. I don't know, you quickly get the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force back, or I don't mind uniting the elders and impeach you together. Danzo didn't get in at all, so Sarutobi Hiruzen came in a huff, and then left in a huff. After Sarutobi Hiruzen left, Danzo thought about it for a long time, and then said, Blood Eagle, get ahead of Sarutobi Hiruzen and bring back the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column force as soon as possible. Those 2 trash haven't come back yet, something must have happened. Now, if you can't do a little thing well, it's up to you next. Yes, Lord Danzo. A ninja wearing a bloody Yuhi-colored eagle mask came out of the shadows and left quickly. Humph. After I control the power of the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki column, the position of Hokage will be in my bag, and then the entire ninja world will surrender to Konoha. Sarutobi, look. I want to prove me stronger than you. Danzo's eyes twinkled with fiery light, and he'd been watching the Hokage for a long time. In the eyes of the Regiment 3.6 Zang, he became Hokage, but he was much stronger than Sarutobi Hiruzen. In Danzo's view, Sarutobi Hiruzen was too cowardly. If he had become Hokage, Konoha would definitely be 100 times stronger than he is now, and maybe the ninja world has been unified. If Hyuga-chan knew what Danzo was thinking, he would definitely laugh off Kiba, who said that without self-knowledge, it was Danzo. If Danzo had really become Hokage, there would be no Konoha village by now. Konoha is indeed the strongest ninja village, but after losing Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, Konoha is no longer invincible. If the other major ninja villages really work together, the destruction of Konoha can definitely be done. If he became Hokage according to Danzo's aggressive character, he might force other shinobi villages to join forces and destroy Konoha village directly. Chapter 71, 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. Early in the morning, Hyuga-chen was woken up by the screams of killing outside. This group of fucking Ten has made Lao Su anxious. Believe it or not, Lao Su killed you all. Hyuga-chen rubbed his eyes and said unhappily. Outside, the ninjas of Iwagakure village and the ninjas of Omegakure village were fighting. When he opened the window and looked at the dozen or so ninjas fighting outside, Hyuga-chen wanted to pinch them to death. Hyuga-chen and the others have been staying in this hotel for 9 days, and these two gangs of turtle grandchildren have been here 3 days ago, and they have been fighting. Not a few people have died, but the sound is loud. The fight started at 3 in the morning, day and night, and Hyuga-chen couldn't sleep at all because of the noise. I'm mad at me, I'm going to kill them. Kushina also got up from the tatami angrily. Forget it. You rest. I'm going to deal with them. These bastards are still addicted here. Hyuga-chen stopped Kushina, and then disappeared in a thunderbolt. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in the middle of the 10 ninjas, floating in the sky, looking down at them indifferently. Stinky brat, who are you? Get out of here quickly. Omegakure, the leader, looked at Hyuga-chen who was standing in the air, and roared unhappily. The sky was pouring rain, but not a single drop fell on Hyuga-chen, and all of them avoided Hyuga-chen. This is Hyuga-chen using Tensagan's repulsive force to repel the rain outside. Look at the forehead guard on your head, you are the little devil of Konoha, the ability to fly in the sky, is it esoteric or Kekkei Genkai? Jonin, the leader among the Iwagakure, analyzed. The pouring rain in the past few days has made me so noisy. Now you bastards are still disturbing the people. Now I will send you to the pure land of bliss. I don't want to talk nonsense with you. 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. A dragon-shaped thunderbolt struck the ground, and after a loud bang, the conduction of rainwater instantly turned the dozen or so ninjas into coke. He clenched his fist. This is the first time Hyuga-chen has used the ability of the Thunder Fruit, how can I say it? Actually Hyuga-chen was not satisfied. First of all, in terms of speed, the speed of the Thunder Fruit is indeed fast, but compared with the Sparkling Fruit, it is really not comparable. The attack power is not much stronger than that of the Glitter Fruit, and the maximum area damage is stronger, but the strength of Hyuga-chen is not greatly enhanced, that is, an additional attack method, which strengthens observation haki. But this didn't make Hyuga-chen satisfied. He regretted eating the fruit of the Thunderbolt. If he gave this fruit to Makoto or Tsunade, it would definitely be more useful than eating it by Hyuga-chen himself. Forget it. It's been eaten anyway, it's useless to regret it, and lightning is the most explosive energy in nature. If it is used in conjunction with the glittering fruit, the power should be stronger. Thinking of this, Hyuga-chen had a new idea. Compared with the Thunder Fruit, the destructive power of the glittering fruit is indeed inferior, but the penetrating power of the laser is stronger than that of the Thunder Fruit. If they are combined together and learn from each other's strengths, won't they become stronger? However, this still needs the development of Hyuga-chen, but it should not be too easy to do, because when Hyuga-chen uses the ability of the glittering fruit, the Thunder Fruit cannot be used. And when Hyuga-chen uses the Thunder Fruit, he cannot use the Sparkling Fruit, and the two fruit abilities cannot be used at the same time. If this problem can't be solved, it's all empty talk. Hyuga-chen turned into a flash and returned to the hotel in an instant. If she moved in a straight line, Hyuga-chen still felt that the flash fruit was useful. If it is in battle, perhaps the Thunder Fruit is easier to use, and generally speaking, it has its own strengths and weaknesses. It's resolved so quickly, Kushina said in surprise. Although I knew that with Hyuga-chen's strength, it wouldn't take too long to solve them, but it was too fast. Hyuga-chen shrugged, who made the environment of the Kingdom of Rain more suitable for the play of the Thunder Fruit. When a thunderbolt passes by, you don't have to hit people, and they can be easily extinguished by the conduction of rain. Where's Makoto? Go and prepare breakfast. Boom, boom, boom. There was a quick knock on the door. Chen, those damn bastards were struck to death by lightning just now. Hyuga Chen walked over and opened the door, looking at Naoki unhappily. You've been yelling all day long, you're a jerk. Naoki looked excited. Chen, those ninjas who disturbed the people were just killed by the flashing lightning. I know that. Hyuga Chen came out and found that the others were also here. Come down together, and the whole hotel is left with them. Because of the arrival of those ninjas, the boss and other passengers have already run away a few days ago. The rain is getting heavier and heavier, or we don't have to wait. We've been waiting for almost 10 days. When will we wait? Hyuga Hazashi suggested. Walking in this heavy rain will make you sick, and there are ninjas fighting outside, so just wait. Nara Shikaku shook his head. I really don't know why you are panicking, it's good to watch the rain here. Compared with the others, Hyuga-chan was much calmer. Chen, this is the land of rain, and life is in danger at any time here. Nara Shikaku smiled bitterly. It's all your fault, Naoki, for taking this mission, Yamanaka Inoichi complained to Naoki. After chatting for a while, Makoto brought the breakfast, which Makoto and Uzumaki Tomoko made together. After breakfast, Hyuga Chen, Makoto and Kushina 730 sat in front of the door watching the rain. Everyone else slumped on the table listlessly. Someone's coming, southeast, 1 Chunin, 6 Genin. Listening to Hyuga Chen's indifferent words, the people lying on the table sat up in shock. Hyuga Hazashi decisively opened Byakugan, and indeed saw the 7 groups of chakras approaching. Exactly, I'm so bored. Naoki stood up excitedly. Others are genin who have fought to the death. Naoki, don't be careless, or I will collect your corpse for a while. Hyuga-chan teased. Don't underestimate me. After a while, 7 people in ninja costumes appeared in front of the hotel. Brother, there are actually a group of little devils here. Just kill it. The Chunin, known as the eldest brother, had an extremely cold expression. Big brother, look at the forehead guards on their heads. They are Konoha's ninjas. We should not provoke them. Someone next to them reminded. Chunin, who took the lead, was stunned for a moment, and then said, what are you afraid of? Anyway, we have no fixed place to live. Konoha can't come and kill us for a few little devils, not to mention the chaos in the country of rain, who knows we did it. As the ninjas of the great ninja village, they should have some ninjutsu on them. The leader Chunin had fiery eyes, and the 6 genin who followed behind also showed fiery eyes. Chapter 72 Destroy the Wandering Ninja. Look at this group of chickens, they seem to be wandering ninjas, I'll leave it to you. Hyuga Chen glanced at them and lost interest. The strength of wandering ninjas is weak, even those missing nin who are being hunted down look down on wandering ninjas. Most of the wandering ninjas accidentally obtained the chakra refining technique, and then became ninjas through self-cultivation. Because no one taught them and there was no ninjutsu, their strength was generally not strong. It is estimated that these guys came to a megacre village to pick up leeks. These guys can be handed over to others. Hyuga Chen and the others are not weak. For example, Namikaze Minato, Naoki, and Uzumaki Tomoko all have the strength of Chunin. Although there is no combat experience, if you can't even solve these ninjas, it is considered that they are born in a big ninja village and a big family. Of course no problem. Naoki, who was fighting for the first time, couldn't help but feel excited. A bunch of nasty little devils dare to look down on us. Boss Chunin was furious. In the face of the ninjas in the ninja village, in fact, these wandering ninjas have a little inferiority complex, but the opposite is just a group of little devils, and they dare to look down on them, which makes them angry. He even added all the anger that the ninjas who came out of Shinobi Village had previously received on Hyuga Chen and the others, showing bloodthirsty murderous aura in their eyes. Don't look at the strength of these wandering ninjas, but people definitely don't kill them. The survival of wandering ninjas depends on burning, killing and looting those civilians, and their murderous aura is not small. The murderous aura they released in an instant made Naoki, Namikaze Minato and the others a little terrified, and they lost half of the battle before they even started. Naoki, Minato, you still said you want to be Hokage. The murderous aura they get from killing chickens scare you, it's really shameful. Hyuga-chan said disdainfully. Who is afraid? I will be afraid of them. Agitated by Hyuga-chan, Naoki immediately jumped up, the fear in his eyes disappeared, and he looked at the group of wandering ninjas aggressively. I don't know how to live or die, let you know how big the gap is between you and the real ninjas. Ninjas can't be called ninjas just because they have a ninja forehead. The leader Chunin said unhappily. Chakra gathered at his feet, then disappeared from the sight of Naoki and others in an instant, appeared behind Naoki in the blink of an eye, and the kunai in his hand stabbed Naoki on the back of his chest. It's really vulnerable. The leader Chunin suddenly showed a smug smile. Just when he was proud, Naoki, who was stabbed by him, suddenly turned into wood, making the leader Chunin's complexion change. You're behind you, sir, we'll help you, one of the genin reminded before rushing forward. Minato and the others couldn't watch, and blocked the 6 genins directly, and Minato directly blocked 2 genins by himself. Not to mention the trio of Ino Shikacho, Shikaku used the secret technique, shadow imitation to control the enemy, and then Chozo used the technique of doubling, killing one directly. Yamanaka Inoichi used the technique of turning his heart to control one of the genin to kill himself by wiping his neck. As soon as they came into contact, 2 wandering ninjas died. The remaining 4 genins, Minato was fighting with 2 genins, who looked very relaxed, and one was beaten to death by Hyuga Hazashi with 8 trigrams 32 palms. Other was controlled by adamantine sealing chains of Uzumaki Tomoko. The 2 sides fought for less than half a minute, and these wandering ninjas were about to cool down. It has to be said that they are real dishes. The leader Chunin saw this scene, and his heart was cold. Is this the ninja of Da Ninja Village? It's just a bunch of little devils, and they can be easily dealt with. Making this Chunin jealous, it also created fear. Naoki, who was fighting this Chunin, saw that he was actually distracted, and immediately took the opportunity to knock him back with a punch, and then hand seal with both hands. Sweden Water Style Water Dragon Bullet Art. The weather in the land of rain has always blessed Sweden Water Style, and with Naoki's huge amount of chakra, the huge water dragon instantly swallowed this wandering Chunin and beat him into blood clots. Ouch! Naoki, who had just been handsome for 3 seconds, spat out at once. Naoki, why did you get so bloody? Hyuga Hazashi next to them smelled the blood and looked at the minced meat all over the place, and their faces turned pale for a while. It's also the first time I've used this ninjutsu on a person. How did I know it would cause such a situation? Naoki leaned against the wall next to him and was vomiting continuously. On the other side, Namikaze Minato also used kunai to cut a genin's neck, and then used futon wind cutting technique to decapitate the other genin. These people look awesome, but are they actually vulnerable? Said Naoki, who recovered. Killing a Chunin had already made him arrogant. Killing a ninja who doesn't even know how to do ninjutsu is nothing to be proud of. When you see a real strong man, you will know your weakness. Hyuga-chen couldn't help but attack. He did this also for Naoki's good. There is no benefit to being arrogant, and Naoki's strength can only be regarded as normal, not strong. Not to mention Jonin, even if you meet an elite Chunin, you can make him die thoroughly. Hurry up and change your clothes. If you have a cold and fever, I won't help you find medicine. Hyuga-chen reminded. Although the battle ended quickly, the rain was so heavy that they were soaked all over now. Find it separately. After finding it, everyone except the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki, column force was killed. Blood Eagle coldly instructed. The 10-member team that followed the Blood Eagle immediately dispersed, splitting up to search for Hyuga-chen and the others. Kenji Yamada is actually dead. Who killed him? Blood Eagle looked at the ruins ahead. This was Kenji Yamada's mansion, but it was burnt to ruins by Hyuga-chan's shadow clone. No matter what, we must bring back the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, Jinchuriki, column force before Anbu, so as to live up to the expectations of Lord Danzo. When speaking of Danzo, the Blood Eagle had a frenzied expression on his face. Blood Eagle is Danzo's most trusted subordinate, and also the strongest subordinate in his hand. His strength has reached the peak of Quasi-Shadow, and he is infinitely close to cage level. He is one of Danzo's cards. Danzo wouldn't have sent Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, if it wasn't for the power of Jinchuriki column, the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails. After standing in front of the ruins for a long time, the Blood Eagle left here. Not long after the Blood Eagle left, another team dressed in similar clothes to the Blood Eagle also arrived here. Minister Matsuda, there are footprints here. One of the Jonin pointed to the messy footprints. It seems that someone is one step ahead of us, and we don't know whether it is an enemy or a friend. Anbu Deputy Minister Matsuda's face became solemn. Search separately. When you encounter a target, send a signal bomb directly, and when you encounter ninjas in other villages, don't start a conflict for the time being. The task is the most important thing. Matsuda ordered his subordinates. Chapter 73 Meet Conan. This ghost weather, I'm going to get moldy. Go out for a walk. Holding an umbrella, Hyuga-chen walked out alone. But after a while, the umbrella in Hyuga-chan's hand couldn't hold on any longer. It was damaged by the pouring rain. After losing the umbrella, Hyuga-chan could only repel the rainwater with repulsion. Even if it rains all year round in the country of rain, it can't be this heavy. If it keeps raining like this, the country of rain will soon be submerged. Looking at the still heavy rain, Hyuga-chan complained. It has been raining heavily for 10 days. If it weren't for the high terrain of this town and the drainage pipes all over the town, perhaps the town would have been submerged. Wait 2 more days. If it continues to rain heavily, the clouds in the sky will be scattered. Hyuga-chen has already decided that if it rains in another 2 days, the clouds will be scattered. This is not for Hyuga-chen. It's difficult. Walking on the streets of the small town in the land of rain, the door on the street was closed, and Hyuga-chen had been walking outside for so long, not even seeing a single person. If you don't know it, you might think it's a ghost town. After wandering around the town for a while, Hyuga-chen was about to go back, when suddenly, he saw a smaller figure sheltering from the rain under an eaves. He has blue-purple hair, his body is extremely thin, his face is stained with dirt, his orange eyes are full of pitiful helplessness, his clothes with patches are soaked through, and he is shivering in the cold wind. When she saw that figure, Hyuga-chen had already recognized her identity, Angel Conan. Now Conan, haven't met Yahiko yet. That's right, just turn Conan back. With a smile on his face, Hyuga-chen walked towards Conan. After hearing the footsteps, Conan couldn't help raising his head and looked at Hyuga-chen with pitiful eyes. Big brother, can you give me something to eat? I haven't eaten for several days. Conan asked cautiously, looking at Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen came to Conan's side, and held out his hand. Conan closed her eyes immediately after seeing it. She thought Hyuga-chen reached out and wanted to hit her. After waiting for a long time, the pain in her imagination did not come, but a warm palm stroked her hair. What's your name? Conan opened his eyes carefully and looked at Hyuga-chen with a gentle smile. He couldn't help but relax and said in a low voice, My name is Conan. Big brother, can you give me something to eat? Conan asked again hopefully. I didn't bring food with me. Hearing this, Conan lowered his head in disappointment. But brother, I can take you to have a big meal, how about that? Hyuga-chen smiled. Looking at Conan's appearance, Hyuga-chen felt particularly distressed. Many people in Hokage had a tragic experience, and Conan was definitely the most distressing. Conan's life has not had any dreams of her own, or rather her dream, is to fulfill the dreams of others. Conan is the person who is incompatible with this ninja world. If he lives in a peaceful era, maybe Conan will be very happy. But in this ninja world of killing and being killed, if you want to have happiness, you must have the power to look down on everything, otherwise it is destined to be a tragedy. Hyuga-chan pursues power madly because he doesn't want to end in tragedy. When he was cultivating, Hyuga-chan was even crazier than Might Guy. Is it okay? Conan's face was surprised, but a little nervous. The long-term wandering career has made Conan inevitably have some inferiority complex, so he is a little cautious when facing other people. Of course you can. From today onwards, you are my sister. As long as I live for one day, I won't let you suffer again, are you willing? Hyuga-chan asked softly. Looking at Hyuga-chan's eyes, Conan's eyes twinkled in disbelief. Since his parents died, this was the first time Conan felt warmth. Can you? Conan asked the sentence again, with hope and anxiety in his eyes. Nothing is impossible. You will be my sister from now on. If anyone dares to bully you, I will let him fall into reincarnation forever. Hyuga-chan reached out and hugged Conan. Big brother put me down, I'm dirty. Conan said in a panic. Hyuga-chan didn't speak, and controlled the fire attribute chakra, directly enveloped Conan, and steamed the clothes on her body. Being able to use fire attribute chakra to dry wet clothes without igniting them requires extremely fine control of chakra, which is difficult for ordinary people to do. Feeling the dry clothes, Conan was surprised. Big brother, are you a ninja? Hyuga-chan smiled and didn't say a word, and walked towards the hotel with Conan in his arms. Big brother, you should be a god. It's a god sent by the sky to save me, Conan said softly, seeing that not a single drop of the pouring rain fell on her. Then Conan found a comfortable position in Hyuga-chan's arms and fell asleep. In fact, Conan hadn't slept well for several days. First, the rain was so heavy that he couldn't sleep at all. Second, he didn't dare to sleep, for fear that he would never wake up after falling asleep. In the days of wandering, she has seen many people who fall asleep and never wake up. Looking at the sleeping face of Conan, Hyuga-chan smiled. Original novel, Conan met Yahiko and started his tragic life. Perhaps Conan would have been more miserable if he had not met Yahiko. But now that she meets Hyuga-chan, Hyuga-chan assures in her heart that no one can hurt Conan unless he is dead. If you make an analogy, Conan is the Morulin in Conan, who has been giving silently all the time and never asking for anything in return. This kind of person really can't be hated, but only makes people feel pity. Naoki, who was sitting at the door looking up at the sky, looked at Hyuga-chan who was holding Conan, and suddenly exclaimed, "Chen, you don't want to kidnap and sell children." Hyuga-chan glared at him, savagely, after hearing the words, "Keep your voice down, if you wake Conan, I'll make you look good." "Chen, you came back, don't say a word when you go out, is this?" Kushina, who came downstairs, complained first, then pointed to Conan and asked. "Conan is a homeless orphan, very pitiful. I met her outside and recognized her as my sister." "Sister?" Kushina looked at Hyuga-chan suspiciously. Is Hyuga-chan such a kind person? When he saw the poor man, he went up to help, and thought he was his sister. "Where's Makoto? Let Makoto cook some porridge, Conan hasn't eaten in a long time." Looking at Conan sleeping in Hyuga-chan's arms, that thin appearance made Kushina's face show a touch of pity, and then went to Makoto and let Makoto cook porridge. She really wanted to cook by herself, but unfortunately she couldn't. Hyuga-chan returned to the room, and then gently put Conan on the bed. When he got up, he found that Conan was clutching his clothes tightly and refused to let go. Hyuga-chan glanced at Conan, didn't get up, just sat on the bed and looked at Conan who was quiet. Chapter 74 Enemy Attack. Hyuga-chan sat by the bed and took out the Sage Mode training method that he had exchanged before. Since the exchange, he has not practiced yet. Hyuga-chan doesn't plan to practice now, I want to know about it first. Sage Art Chakra needs the perfect balance of its own spiritual energy, its own physical energy and natural energy to be born. Only 1/3 of each can be activated. If it exceeds 1/3, it will be swallowed by the force of nature. If it is less than 1/3, it cannot become Sage Mode tilde. The ability of Sage Mode is undoubtedly very strong. In Sage Mode, the strength in all aspects is increased dozens of times, the power of the surgery is also greatly enhanced, and the body will be activated, the pain will be greatly reduced when injured, and the recovery will be enhanced. It can be said that it is a move to comprehensively enhance the strength, and it is still dozens of times stronger. Sage Mode is not against the sky. But the cost of cultivation is also very high, and if you are not careful, you will kill yourself. I have a sage body, which can easily sense natural energy, plus my own control ability, it shouldn't be too difficult. Hyuga-chan muttered to himself. Hyuga-chan's sage body is at least on the same level as Senju Hashirama and Otsutsuki Ashura, not the fake sage body of the Senju and Uzumaki clan, so in the practice of Sage Mode, Hyuga-chan's advantage is doomed. And because of the elementalization of the glitter fruit and the thunder fruit, Hyuga-chan is not afraid of failure at all. Sage Mode is as difficult as the sky, but for Hyuga-chan, it is the difficulty of practicing S-rank ninjutsu. Big brother, I'm really not dreaming. Conan woke up while Hyuga-chan was studying Sage Mode. Looking at Conan's hopeful eyes, Hyuga-chan smiled slightly, touched Conan's head and said, "Of course you are not dreaming. I have asked your sister Makoto to cook porridge. Conan will be able to eat hot porridge in a while." Quote. Hyuga-chan knew that Conan had been wandering for so long and felt insecure, so she tried to comfort her as much as possible. Just as Conan was about to speak, the door was opened and Makoto walked in with a bowl of porridge, followed by Kushina. "Your name is Conan, right? Come and let me feed you porridge." Makoto sat on the head of the bed with a gentle face, scooped a spoonful with a spoon, blew lightly, and then handed it to Conan. Conan first glanced at Hyuga-chan, and then drank the meat porridge in one gulp. Soon after the bowl of porridge was finished, a healthy Yuhi rhyme appeared on Conan's sickly pale face. "Makoto, give Conan a wash. Then put on some clean clothes." "Yeah, but there doesn't seem to be any suitable clothes. Wouldn't it look too big if I wore ours?" Makoto nodded. "When I came back, I picked up a few pieces from the clothing store." Hyuga-chan took out some clothes, which were just right for Conan, who was 4 or 5 years old. Before the battle between Iwagakure and Omegakure, the entire street was almost wiped out, and there was no one in the clothing store. When Hyuga-chan passed by, he picked up a few clothes suitable for Conan. Hyuga-chan left the room and came downstairs. A group of people were bored watching the rain. When they heard the sound of Hyuga-chan coming down, they turned their heads and glanced. 10. Listen to Naoki, you brought back a little girl. Namikaze Minato asked with a smile. "Yes, her name is Conan, and she's a very pitiful girl." Hyuga-chan nodded, then sat in front of the door too. The rain seems to be a little smaller. Looking at the rain, it was obviously much smaller than when he would come from outside. "Yeah, we can leave when the rain is a little lighter," Yamanaka Inoichi said. They have indeed been here enough. This humid environment makes them a little unable to adapt to the land of fire with a suitable climate. Fortunately, this place is very far from the main battlefield, otherwise we would be really in trouble, and this kind of troublesome task should not be taken, otherwise I might be sleeping in Konoha now. Nara Shikaku complained. "Don't complain, someone is coming, and it's coming for us." Hyuga-chan clearly sensed someone coming through observation haki, which was enhanced by the sound of the thunder fruit. And they can also hear their conversations, and know through their conversations that the other party is coming for them, or it is for the Kyubi 9 Tails Jinchuriki column force. After Naoki and the others heard the words, they immediately became vigilant. Hyuga Hazashi quickly opened Byakugan and began to investigate. After a while, Hyuga Hazashi sweated on his forehead and said with a dry mouth, "There are indeed people, and their chakras are huge, and it is initially estimated that it is at least Jonin." What? All of a sudden, I couldn't sit still. Jonin was already a high-end combat power, and the most important combat power in the 5 great ninja villages. Although they dealt with a group of wandering ninjas before, they were not arrogant enough to think they could deal with Jonin. There should be reconnaissance ninjas among them, and they are rushing towards the outside. Hyuga Hazashi once again said a bad news. Then let's leave quickly, Nara Shikaku said with an extremely ugly face, no longer as lazy as before. It's too late, it's just 2 Jonins, don't panic. Hyuga-chan leaned against the door frame with a calm expression. Nara Shikaku looked at Hyuga-chen with a wry smile, she was really calm. Chen, why are you able to sense each other, don't you have Byakugan? Namikaze Minato asked curiously. Whoever stipulated that only Byakugan can detect, is the Uzumaki family. They also have their own detection skills, which are not inferior to Byakugan. Hyuga-chen looked at Uzumaki Tomoko. Others also looked at Uzumaki Tomoko with a search in their eyes. Being watched by so many people, Uzumaki Tomoko bowed his head shyly, and then whispered, our Uzumaki clan does have powerful detection skills, but ordinary people can't master it all. Only people with strong perception ability can master. Stop discussing this, the enemy has come. Hyuga-chan looked forward. Makoto and Kushina, who were originally upstairs, also brought Conan down and came to Hyuga-chan's side. Ten, are they enemies? Makoto asked. Makoto doesn't need to ask, I can clearly feel the deep malice emanating from them. Kushina said with a serious face, she could feel that the other party was not much weaker than herself. Their dress is Anbu's dress, but without a forehead guard, I don't know which Anbu from Ninja Village. Nara Shikaku said solemnly. Because Anbu performs special assassination missions, it is very important to hide his identity, so it is difficult to tell which ninja village he is from the clothes. Generally, the forehead guard on his body is the proof of identity. Especially on the battlefield, if you don't wear a forehead guard, unless you are very famous and the whole village knows you, you will be easily injured by your own people. Of course, the ninja costumes of the major ninja villages are not the same, and you can tell them apart by this, but Anbu is different. Anbu performs tasks without a forehead guard, and his clothes are generally similar. If he wants to tell which ninja village he is, unless he is an experienced ninja, he can't tell at all. Chapter 75 Instantly kill Jonin and leave. 2 Jonins faced Hyuga-chen and the others, and instead of shooting directly, they took out a signal flare and fired the flare first. No, they want to call someone. After seeing the flare, Nara Shikaku felt even worse. But they couldn't stop it. They could only hope that the flare was not waterproof, and the heavy rain could extinguish the flare. Otherwise, facing the 2 Jonin who didn't know what to do, if there were more ninjas, there would be no hope. The other party knew that this was the land of rain, and the flares he brought were naturally waterproof. The flares lifted off, and then exploded, and a huge blood-colored eagle head appeared in the air. Do it, kill everyone except the target person. After sending the flare, one of them, Jonin wearing an owl mask, swooped towards Hyuga-chan. Are you taking me as a target? Are you underestimating me? Hyuga-chan sneered, she really didn't know what to do. Jonin with an owl mask slashed out, splitting Hyuga-chan in half, but he was not happy at all. Instead his pupils shrank suddenly, because it was an afterimage. Your speed is too slow. Hyuga-chan said behind him with a smile. The owl-masked Jonin was startled, then backed sharply, his expression dignified. You've already made a move. Wouldn't it be too rude if I didn't return the salute? Hyuga-chen raised his fist, without using chakra or any force technique, and threw a fist at Jonin in the owl mask. The powerful force squeezed the air, forming a vacuum fist and blasting towards Jonin in the owl mask. Boom! Without giving the other party time to escape, the vacuum fist stamped the other party into the hotel, and the hotel where Hyuga-chen and the others lived for more than 10 days collapsed just like that. Jonin wearing the owl mask was already killed when he was hit. Gudong! Naoki, Shikaku and the others swallowed wildly, and Hyuga-chen's violence was beyond their imagination, killing Jonin with one punch. If this punches me, I won't even leave the scum. Naoki said with a blank eye. No wonder you are so calm. Just a few more Jonins won't be enough for you to punch. Nara Shikaku said with a wry smile, and at the same time he was relieved. Hyuga-chan is so powerful, it means they are safe. However, Hyuga-chan's power really shocked him. Without using chakra, he could use at least the effect of A** level ninjutsu with his physical strength. Nara Shikaku could only sigh the monster. The other Jonin was also stunned. In just a few seconds, his companion was gone. You go down with him too. Thunder Rasengan. Hyuga-chen appeared in front of this Jonin in an instant, with a ball of shining thunder condensed in his hand, greeted directly on the opponent's chest, and opened a bowl-sized hole in the opponent's body. Then the thunder in Rasengan shone, instantly covering the opponent, turning the opponent into a charred corpse. Two Jonins said a few words and then hung up. Thunder Rasengan is a move developed by Hyuga-chen combined with Thunder Fruit and Rasengan. It can be thrown directly to attack, and its maximum power can flatten several mountains, which is not much worse than Tailed Beast Bomb. Seeing Hyuga-chen take out two Jonins with two moves, Naoki murmured and asked, Chen, how strong are you? I don't know, anyway, so far, I have never met someone who made me give my best. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said. This time it wasn't that Hyuga-chen was pretending, but that he really didn't meet someone who could make him fight with all his strength. What a monster, seeing your strength, I can't believe that we are students of the same level. Yamanaka Inoichi looked at Hyuga-chen and could only use the word monster to describe him. Anyway, he had never heard of anyone who could kill Jonin at the age of 10. Not to mention killing Jonin, even a 10-year-old ninja with the strength of Jonin, Yamanaka Inoichi has never heard of it. Big brother is so powerful. Conan blinked at Hyuga-chen, with a look of admiration in his eyes. In Conan's eyes, Hyuga-chen has long been equated with God from the moment she rescued her. Let's get out of here before their people arrive, Nara Shikaku suggested. Really, we didn't do anything. Why would Jonin come after us? Inuzuka Claw complained. Hyuga-chen glanced at Uzumaki Tomoko and didn't say anything. These people are obviously ninjas at the root, and they definitely came for the Jinchuriki column force of Uzumaki Tomoko. Stop talking, let's leave. Hyuga-chen picked up Conan, then jumped up to the roof, walking like flying on the steel high-rise. Makoto and Kushina also followed Hyuga-chen, and it was impossible for others to watch, so they also jumped up the tall building and chased after Hyuga-chen. Tatsu, are we going back to the village now? Shikaku asked Hyuga Tatsu. Well, now let's take a detour, avoid the battlefield, and then go back to the village. Hyuga-chen stopped, and took out the map from his arms. Now we are in the southwest of the Land of Rain. If we want to return to the Land of Fire, the nearest road is to cross the battlefield. Makoto Kushina and I have no problem, but you may not have the ability. Even if you have me to protect you, the trouble is not small, so this road is the closest, but it will take longer, and there may even be accidents. Hyuga-chen took the map and analyzed them. Our current position is a bit embarrassing. If we want to return to the country of fire, we can only take a detour except to cross the country of rain. We are now in the southwest of the country of rain, close to the country of Chuan, so we can only detour to the country of Chuan. Country. Okay, as Chen said, take a detour to the country of the river. Nara Shikaku looked at the map and thought this was the best route. Among them, namely Naoki, Hyuga Uzumaki Tomoko and Namikaze Minato, the three of them barely have Chunin strength, and the rest are Genin strength. Although there are Hyuga-chen, who is unfathomable in strength, and Kushina, who can easily kill Chunin, it is too dangerous to cross the battlefield. Even the elite Jonin may fall, not to mention them. So Hyuga-chen and the others changed direction in 1.3 and headed in the direction of the river country. After Hyuga-chen and the others left, the Blood Eagle led the other route ninjas to the hotel where Hyuga-chen and the others were staying. Looking at the dilapidated hotel and the scorched corpses on the ground, Shui Ying felt that his heart was boiling with anger, and he had never been so angry before. Too rubbish, even the newly graduated genin can't win, and he still died here, it's even worse than rubbish. Follow the traces and chase me. Be sure to find those little mice before Anbu. Although it was raining now, Hyuga-chen and the others had just become ninjas, and they were inexperienced, leaving a lot of conspicuous traces. Following these traces, the Blood Eagle led people to catch up. Anbu, who seemed to be always slow, also found here, and followed the traces. Chapter 76 Practice Sage Mode. They finally left the country of rain, that damn environment is terrible. Nawaki said with a sigh of relief as he stepped into the country of rivers and left the wet, rainy country of rain. Nawaki, now is not the time to sigh, there are still unknown enemies behind, let's hurry up. Nara Shikaku said. When Akamichi Choza heard the words next to him, his face immediately became bitter. Shikaku, can I rest for a while? I'm almost exhausted. If I go on like this, I'll be exhausted before being killed by the enemy. This Shikaku hesitated for a while looking at the tired crowd. Go to the town in front of you and have a rest. By the way, add food and water. Hyuga-chen said. Okay With the opponent's strength, they have already caught up with us. They haven't caught up with us yet, so they must have gone in the wrong direction. It seems that our previous tricks are still useful. Previously, under the suggestion of Nara Shikaku, they used the shadow clone technique to make shadow clone deliberately leave traces and go in other directions. This can lead the other party away, although with the ability of the other party, 11 can find out quickly, but it can also buy them time. Coming to a border town, Hyuga-chen and the others took a rest and replenished some water sources, and then they didn't stay in the town much. After leaving the town, they found a hidden cave, ready to rest first. Chen, we have to restore the chakra, the vigilance is left to you. Nara Shikaku said to Hyuga-chen. In order to travel fast, their chakra was almost exhausted, which is why Nara Shikaku agreed to rest. If they don't rest for a while, they won't say how long they will last. If they are caught up by the enemy, they can only wait to die without chakra. Hey, I've been eating ration pills along the way, and now I can finally change the taste, but it's still not as good as Makoto's. Nawaki took a rice ball and ate it. Nawaki and Uzumaki Tomoko have sage body, chakra bursting, no need to restore chakra at all. It's good to have something to eat. If you have nothing to do, just be vigilant and don't bother me. Hyuga-chen waved to Nawaki. He is now ready to try to practice sage mode, but he has no time to talk nonsense with Nawaki. Nawaki ate at Hyuga-chen's place, ran to the side depressed, and competed with the rice ball in his hand. Hyuga-chen closed his eyes and began to perceive the natural energy emanating from the air. If we say that the oldest thing in this world is natural energy. Even the origin of chakra, the divine tree, grows through natural energy as nourishment. Hyuga-chen has a natural devil fruit and a sage body. It is easy to perceive natural energy. After sensing the natural energy, Hyuga-chen began to try to capture and integrate them into the body. This step is not difficult for Hyuga-chen, and it is even very easy. Natural energy flows into Hyuga-chen's body like flowing water, nourishing his body and activating his cells. After that, the last step is left, and it is also the most difficult step. The physical energy, spiritual energy and natural energy are combined in the form of three to form the sage art chakra. This step is very difficult, even if Hyuga-chen has a strong control over chakra, it cannot be done all at once. There were even a few times when the natural energy exceeded, and Hyuga-chen's body turned into a flash of light. Fortunately, Makoto and Kushina also knew about Hyuga-chen's abilities, otherwise they would definitely be in a panic. What is this Kekkei Genkei? The body can turn into a flash, it's just incredible, I've never heard of such a Kekkei Genkei. Nawaki looked at him dumbfounded. Touch. Hyuga-chen turned into a ball of light again, and then regrouped again, her face extremely depressed. Hey, I failed again. Sage mode is really not that easy to practice. It seems that I still take it for granted. Hyuga Chen said depressedly. Originally, he thought that he was relying on sage body, a natural devil fruit, and his own powerful talents. It was not easy to cultivate sage mode, but the cruel reality gave him a slap in the face. However, Hyuga Chen is not without gains. Although he has failed every time, he has gained some experience. As long as he practices more, he will definitely be able to master sage mode. Master Sage mode is a very important step in Hyuga Chen's plan. After Master Sage mode, Hyuga Chen plans to collect the tailed beast chakra and control the yin and yang escape technique. Then integrate Sage Art chakra, Ten Tails chakra and the power of yin and yang to advance to the Six Paths realm in one fell swoop. This was planned by Hyuga Chen a long time ago, and only in this way can he truly enter the Six Paths realm. Otherwise, relying on the Tensagen chakra mode, he is always a pseudo Six Paths. Although he can fight with people of the Six Paths level, he is still short. The idea is very beautiful, but it is very difficult to do. Now Hyuga Chen is only initially controlling the yin and yang escape, and the sage mode has not yet been successfully cultivated. Alas, if Ryujin Jaka can Bankai, why should I bother? What Otsutsuki Kagaya? What Otsutsuki Momoshiki, what Six Paths Immortals, all cut to pieces with a knife. Hyuga sighed secretly. The core temperature of the sun of 15 million degrees, even if they are added together, is not enough to slash with one sword, but the premise is to cut each other. I practiced sage mode again for a while, but in the end I didn't succeed. Hyuga Chen put it down first, and Rome wasn't built in a day. On the other side, Makoto is teaching Konan to make chakra, and Kushina is also instructing. I have to say that Konan's talent is indeed powerful, and he has quickly figured out the clues, and even a trace of chakra has been refined. Naoki, who has been watching, is amazed. When he extracted chakra, it took 2 days to extract it, and Konan has already extracted chakra in just a few hours. Chen, can you teach me that Muji Raiden, thunder-style ninjutsu that rolls balls? Naoki said embarrassedly. He knew that something like ninjutsu was a secret that a person could never pass on. Even between masters and disciples, some things could not be taught. But Naoki is very jealous of Hyuga Chen's powerful ninjutsu that doesn't require a hand seal. You mean Thunder Rasengan? That's right. It's this ninjutsu, okay. Naoki looked at Hyuga Chen with a hopeful expression. I can't teach you Thunder Rasengan, but I can teach you Rasengan. If you are savvy, you may be able to develop Thunder Rasengan, or other Rasengans. Naoki, who was a little disappointed when he heard what Hyuga Chen said in front of him, jumped up with excitement immediately after hearing the words behind. Chapter 77 I Admit You. 10. Thank you so much. Naoki burst into tears with excitement. Hyuga Chen felt a little chill, and a man looked at him with tears streaming down his face, which made Hyuga Chen feel very uncomfortable. Hurry up and put away your expression, or I won't teach you. Oh, Naoki wiped away his tears immediately, for fear that Hyuga-chan would regret not teaching him. Hyuga-chan took out Rasengan's practice scroll and handed it to Naoki. Not to mention that Hyuga-chan and Naoki had a good relationship, even if he looked at Tsunade's face, Hyuga-chan would not refuse Naoki's small request. Naoki is also his brother-in-law, so he should take care of him. Rasengan's ninjutsu is actually not very strong, at least compared with S-rank ninjutsu, there is still a big gap. However, the practicality of Rasengan, as well as the sustainable development ability of Rasengan, is definitely the strongest ninjutsu in Hokage. As long as you have enough understanding, you can develop various powerful Rasengans that join nature transformation. Anyway, Hyuga-chan has already given Naoki the most primitive Rasengan, and it is up to him to see how far he can develop it. All the steps of Rasengan's cultivation have been recorded above. If you can't learn it, you can only say that you are stupid. Naoki took Rasengan's scroll and nodded, and found that Rasengan's cultivation method is not too difficult. Although Naoki really wanted to practice, he didn't have any tools to practice, so he could only suppress it. That Chen, can you teach me that too? Namikaze Minato, who had recovered chakra, came over and asked with a look of embarrassment. Hyuga-chan raised his brows when he heard the words, but didn't refuse. Anyway, this was originally a ninjutsu developed by Namikaze Minato. Even if Hyuga-chan refused, he could develop it. It's better to be a favor. The scroll is in Naoki's place, go and make a copy. Thank you, Tatsu. Namikaze Minato bowed heavily to Hyuga Tatsu. Originally, Namikaze Minato was ready to be rejected by Hyuga-chen, but Hyuga-chen actually agreed. Hyuga-chen calmly accepted Namikaze Minato's thanks. Although Rasengan was created by Namikaze Minato, it also took time. If Hyuga-chan rejects Namikaze Minato will take at least a few years to study. Although Rasengan's principle is simple, it is not easy to develop and create. It can be said that Hyuga-chen gave Namikaze Minato the training method of Rasengan, which directly saved Namikaze Minato several years of time. After a day's rest, Nara Shikaku proposed to leave here and return to the village as soon as possible. To Nara Shikaku's proposal, only when they returned to the village could they be truly safe. After resting, Hyuga-chen and his party entered the journey again. After 3 days, they finally stepped into the Fire Nation's territory, and Nara Shikaku also sighed in relief. Don't be too happy, even if you step into the country of fire, it doesn't mean that the enemy won't chase after him. Hyuga-chen reminded. Don't worry Chen, now this is the country of fire, the enemy will never dare to catch up. Nara Shikaku shook his head and said. Ninjas from other villages generally do not go to other countries to make troubles. Haha, what if the enemy is also a ninja from the land of fire? Hyuga-chen asked rhetorically with a smile. Impossible, how could it be the ninja of our country of fire? Naoki immediately retorted. Nara Shikaku fell into contemplation, the possibility that Hyuga-chen said was not impossible. Now we are still far from Konoha village. Even if the opponent is a ninja from the enemy's ninja village, it's not that they dare not catch up. It's really safe to return to Konoha. Chen is right, let's hurry back to the village. Nara Shikaku nodded. After 6 days, they finally set foot on the only way back to Konoha village. Stop! Hyuga-chen stopped and shouted. Chen, what happened? You don't have to go, the other party is already here waiting for us. Hyuga-chen said lightly. What? Nara Shikaku's eyes widened sharply. Little devil, your observation skills are really sharp. You guys arrived very quickly, a few days earlier than I expected. The Blood Eagle led people out of the dark and surrounded Hyuga-chen and the others. Naoki and the others immediately took out kunai and watched the group of ninjas vigilantly. It's not far from Konoha. If you dare to appear here, aren't you afraid that our Konoha ninjas will find out? Nara Shikaku asked with a solemn expression. Okay Shikaku, there's no need to say anything to a group of mad dogs. After all, they are mad dogs led by mad dogs. What would they be afraid of? Hyuga-chen jokingly looked at each other and said. Little devil, you are courting death. The Blood Eagle was so furious that he even scolded his most respected Danzo. You are very loyal when you are a dog. I think it is better to be a watchdog for me. I will never treat you badly. Even after performing countless tasks and experiencing the test of blood and fire, facing Hyuga-chen's words, the Blood Eagle couldn't help it. The chakra bursting out of the whole body quickly approached Hyuga-chen, and he wanted to unscrew Hyuga-chen's head to vent his anger. Facing the rapidly approaching Blood Eagle, Hyuga-chen raised his fist and waved lightly at the opponent, ignoring the opponent at all. Blood Eagle was even more furious, and dared to look down on him. Since you are courting death, I will first abolish your arm, and then slowly torture you. The Blood Eagle also raised his fist, enveloped chakra, and smashed towards Hyuga-chen. Physical skills were definitely his strongest skill. How could he lose to a 10-year-old kid? The Blood Eagle showed a cruel smile at the corner of his mouth, and wanted to see each other. Of misery. Touch. Boom. 2 fists, one big and one small, collided, and Hyuga-chan stood there motionless, not feeling at all. But the blood eagle took a dozen steps backwards. His arm was numb, and it was difficult to even lift it up. That's right, I was able to take a punch from me. Hyuga-chan, admitted you. You are qualified to sign up. I will write down your name in my notebook. When I become the god of the ninja world in the future, as someone who has fought against the god of the ninja world, I may be mentioned a few times by later generations. Humiliation, which is humiliating him, is more humiliating than putting his face on the ground and stepping on it. When Naoki and the others heard Hyuga-chan's shameless words, they all looked at Hyuga-chan with contempt. It's fine if you think about it in your heart, but you still say it. The god of the ninja world is said by Hyuga-chan as if it is in the bag. No matter whether Hyuga-chan can do it or not, it is right to despise it first. Ha 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 ha, I don't know if there is a limit to the thickness of the sky, the god of the ninja world, it's up to you. Enduring the pain in his arm, Shui Ying said disdainfully. Let's go together, kill this little devil first. If this person is not eliminated, he will definitely become the big enemy of adults in the future. Blood Eagle roared. Although he was disdainful in his mouth, in his heart he really believed that Hyuga-chan had the qualifications to become the god of the ninja world. What Hyuga-chan said before sounded like he was talking big, but at the age of 10, he could actually defeat himself who had reached the quasi-shadow level. Even Senju Hashirama, the former god of the ninja world, couldn't do it at this age. With Hyuga-chan's strength, he couldn't ignore it. Chapter 78 The Seal of the Four Elephants in Lava Rasengan. A group of turkeys and dogs can only keep warm by hugging them together. Hyuga-chan looked at the ninjas who were rushing towards him from all directions, and Hyuga-chan didn't care at all. Shinra Tensai Almighty Push sign. Whether it was the released ninjutsu, the thrown shuriken, and the kunai, all those ninjas were repelled by the powerful repulsion. Looking at the group of Jonin who vomited blood and flying upside down, and Naoki, Namikaze Minato and the others who have been watching, they are stunned. Is it so scary? It's like a father beating his son. For the first time, Nara Shikaku felt that his brain was not working. Damn, how can it be so strong? It's not human. Shui Ying clutched his chest, half knelt on the ground, and said with difficulty. You kneeled down before I could exert any strength. I'm really disappointed. Take back what I said before. Your name is not worthy of being written down in my small book. Hyuga-chan shook his head in disappointment. Hyuga-chan, who likes to pretend to be forceful, is actually happy in his heart. This is what he wants. If the opposite is a cage-level expert to set off, it will be more perfect. You could have avoided dying, but who told you to jump out and die? Bansho Tenon Universal Pull. Hyuga-chan stood in the air, stretched out both hands, the majestic gravitational force erupted in his palms, and then the two Jonin lying on the ground were instantly sucked in. With a 240 inches click, Hyuga-chan ruthlessly snapped the opponent's neck, then released his hand. The two corpses smashed to the ground, making a bang sound, and a cloud of dust was thrown up. The rest of the people looked cold, even after harsh training. No names, no feelings, no past, no future. A person who has only the root of the mission in mind. When I saw my companion being pinched to death like this, I couldn't help but feel a chill in my heart, and I felt like my lips were dead and my teeth were cold. To be honest, I don't have a sense of accomplishment in killing rookies like you. Now that the cage-level powerhouse is here, Hyuga-chan can also easily hang and beat him. These guys who don't even have cage-level strength are just here to give away. Brother Chen is so powerful. Konan was hugged by Makoto. Her eyes were shining. She felt that Hyuga-chan just now was super handsome. Konan, my elder sister is also very good. If I take action, I can easily deal with those people. Kushina touched Konan's head and said. Brother is the best, Konan said stubbornly. Humph, let me show you how good my sister is. Kushina was upset and wanted to prove herself to Konan. You don't need to intervene in the next battle, I will solve them. Kushina stepped forward and said to Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen shrugged, and then fell from the air. He knew that Kushina likes to be in the limelight. Since she likes to be in the limelight, let her do it. Anyway, Hyuga-chen has already crippled the opponent, and he is the strongest quasi-shadow, and now he can only exert the strength of the elite Jonin at most. An elite Jonin is really not good enough to face Kushina, who has rockberry. Kushina, who eats rockberry, is not much weaker than Makoto's ability. Even Makoto with Eternal Mangekyo is an incomparable headache. If it wasn't for armament hockey, Makoto couldn't even fight Kushina, let alone other people. And the power of rockberry, naturally, needless to say, using rockberry with all their strength, one person can destroy a city in an instant. So Kushina wanted to solve these people. It was easy and enjoyable. Even if Kushina stood and let them fight, they couldn't help Kushina. Damn, you look down on us so much. Kaden Fire Style, Great Flame Flower. Attack together. Kaden Fire Style, Dragon Fire Bullet. Futon, Wind Style, Datapa, Great Breakthrough. Quote. 6 Jonins used ninjutsu together, and the fire took advantage of the wind, and the incomparable fire swept towards Kushina. Hyuga-chen, the Blood Eagle, could not hand seal with one hand, so he could only wait for an opportunity, looking for an opportunity to launch a fatal blow. Looking at the boundless flames, Kushina smiled. Unless the Kaden Fire Style flame they used was hotter than the lava, otherwise they were giving her a benefit. The temperature of the magma exceeds 1,000 degrees, and it is difficult for the flame to reach such a high temperature without special conditions. So they were tragic, and the boundless fire was all swallowed and absorbed by Kushina, enhancing their magma heat. What? Looking at the unscathed Kushina, the root of the attack, Jonin, all showed disbelief. Naoki and the others, who were watching from behind, were also relieved. The situation just now really made them sweat for Kushina. That fiery flame, even from a dozen meters away, can feel the feeling of being melted. Kushina's ability seems to be the same as Tatsu's Kekkei Genkei. It's just that one turns into flash and the other turns into magma. Naoki looked at Hyuga-chen and said. Hyuga Tatsu failed to practice Sage Mode before. Naoki was surprised by Hyuga Tatsu, who turned into a sparkle for a while. Hyuga-chen smiled and didn't explain. How to explain something like devil fruit? Eating one fruit can get all kinds of power. It's really incredible. At least people in the Hokage world have a hard time understanding this kind of thing. In fact, there is a fruit in Hokage that is countless times stronger than the devil fruit. That is the fruit of the divine tree, the fruit that truly makes one go to heaven in one step, becoming the fruit of God. Hyuga-chen didn't say much, and no one asked much. This kind of ability involving other people's Kekkei Genkei should not be asked randomly in the ninja world. Otherwise, even the best friends can become enemies. Magma Rasengan, turn me to ashes. Kushina showed 2 fire Yuhi-colored Rasengans in each hand, tumbling Magma Rasengan, and threw them out violently. This is developed by Kushina based on Rasengan, plus the ability of Iwataki. Like Hyuga-chen's Thunder Rasengan, it belongs to S-rank ninjutsu. 2 Rasengans pierced through the chests of the 2 Jonins in an instant, and then the compressed magma inside erupted. The temperature and impact force instantly swallowed the 2 unlucky Jonins next to them, and the other 2 Jonins couldn't dodge in time, and were pierced by the swirling magma. Only the quasi-shadow of the Blood Eagle, relying on its own reaction power and speed, escaped the catastrophe, but the left arm was burned by the magma. The Blood Eagle was sweating coldly on his forehead, and his heart was rising. For a ninja, with one arm, the ninja's career could be said goodbye. Not everyone can learn to hand seal with one hand. For the sake of the adults, even if I die, I will also take you with me. The 4 elephants are sealed. The Blood Eagle roared wildly. A large amount of black blood spurted out and radiated outward with itself as the center of the sphere. This was a seal technique that was sealed together with oneself, a move that perished together. It's the ultimate sealing technique of our Uzumaki clan, hurry up and avoid it. Kushina shrank his pupils, and then shouted loudly. Although the activation speed of the 4-image sealing technique is not fast, no matter Hyuga-chen, Makoto, or Kushina can easily dodge, but Naoki and the others can't, they simply don't have that speed. Chapter 79 Back to Konoha. Space Banishment. A pitch-black hole swallowed the Blood Eagle in an instant, and was banished to another dimension by Hyuga-chen. After the Blood Eagle disappeared, the seal of Lee Sixiong was broken naturally. Tenseigen's time and space manipulation. Although Hyuga-chen can't play with the time ability, but the space ability is very smooth. In the entire Hokage world, there will never be a space ability that is more slippery than him, including those 6 paths level non-humans. If Obito dares to use space pupil technique in front of him, Hyuga-chen can tell him instantly that your Kamui space is mine. Time ability is not enough. Now Hyuga-chen can only accelerate the time of 100 meters for 1 year at most, and the consumption is still very large, which is not practical at all. As for the more pervert time pause and time rewind, Hyuga-chen simply couldn't do it. Seeing that Hyuga-chen solved the seal of the 4 elephants, Naoki and the others were also relieved. They thought they were going to die just now. Let's go. Let's Konoha. Chen, do you know who they are? Nara Shikaku asked in a low voice to Hyuga-chen. Shikaku, sometimes knowing too much is not good. Hyuga-chen said with a deep meaning. The Nara family are all smart people, not a fool. Naturally they know what Hyuga-chen means. Knowing too much, he may be in danger. Nara Shikaku didn't ask anything. In fact, he had already guessed something. The seal of the 4 elephants is the forbidden technique of the Uzumaki clan, and the Uzumaki clan has been exterminated. Now the only one with the Uzumaki clan's seal technique is Konoha village, which is friendly to the Uzumaki clan. Other words, the people who want to kill them are from Konoha, although I don't know the reason, but Nara Shikaku doesn't pursue it anymore. Let's talk about it when we go back to Konoha. After killing the root members of the Blood Eagle, Hyuga-chen and the others went very smoothly and returned to Konoha in more than a day. After handing over the proof of leaving the village, Chunin, the gatekeeper, immediately took them to see Hokage, which was ordered by Sarutobi Hiruzen himself. As long as Hyuga-chen and his party return, they will take them to the Hokage building to meet him. Came to the Hokage building, looking at the intact Uzumaki Tomoko, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally let go of a heart, and the sorrow of many days disappeared, and he smiled. You are all new branches of Konoha. I can rest assured that you can come back safely. Now the ninja world is not peaceful, and there are fewer tasks to go out of the village. I don't want to see the next generation of Konoha die prematurely. Sarutobi Hiruzen said kindly, and Naoki and Namikaze Minato were moved to tears in an instant. Hyuga-chen looked at the kind Sarutobi Hiruzen and grinned. This old guy of 3 generations, Hyuga-chen didn't have much affection for him, nor did he have too much disgust. Sarutobi Hiruzen is sometimes too indecisive in his actions, and blindly indulges Danzo without any domineering. Even though Sarutobi Hiruzen is in his prime now, Hyuga-chen doesn't see any domineering in him. And Danzo is not a good thing, and Sarutobi Hiruzen himself is not a good bird, although Hyuga-chen, who is not a good person, is not qualified to judge anything, but it does not prevent me from seeing you unhappy. Who is this child? Sarutobi Hiruzen had noticed Konan long ago, but only now asked. Konan is the sister I recognize. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Hyuga Tatsu deeply after hearing this. Facing Sarutobi Hiruzen's direct gaze, Hyuga-chen's expression remained unchanged. Hyuga-chen, right. Since it's the younger sister you recognize, then apply for a village entry certificate. From now on, you'll be a member of our Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked back after a long time, and said. Konan's age is still young. Sarutobi Hiruzen is not worried about being undercover, but Sarutobi Hiruzen will also let Anbu investigate later. After that, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked about the process of this mission, and Hyuga-chen and the others said everything they could say, but didn't say anything they couldn't say. Example, they were chased and killed, and Hyuga-chen's strength was not mentioned. He only said that he was hiding in the rain country, which was why it was delayed for so long. To be honest, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't believe Hyuga-chan and the others, but he didn't ask much, so he could only ask Anbu to investigate later. Anyway, as long as Uzumaki Tomoko comes back safely, Sarutobi Hiruzen will be at ease, and the rest is not important. Giving Konan a certificate of entering the village, Hyuga-chan and the others went home. If I have money, I will buy a bigger house tomorrow. Hyuga-chan and the others can't say that this house is small, but it's not big either. What about this house? Is it sold? Kushina asked. Hearing this, Hyuga-chan lightly tapped Kushina on the head, and then said, "Why are you selling it? Now the price of the house is falling every day. Even if you sell it, it won't sell for a few dollars. Not bad for money." Quote. Not only do we not sell, we also want to buy more houses. Now is the ninja war, and the real estate industry is in recession. We will buy at a low price now, and then sell at a high price after the ninja war is over. In this way, we will be the first in the ninja world. A rich man, don't worry about money. The light in Hyuga-chan's eyes was the first time he felt so business-minded. He was going to enter real estate. He was going to become the real estate king. After the rapid downsizing of the Ninja World War, the current house is not expensive, and even continues to decline. And after the war ended, they were busy creating children. That is the period of population explosion, and hoarding real estate now is a business that can make a profit without losing money. But what's the use of us asking for so much money? Kushina asked. It doesn't seem to be of any use. Hyuga-chan scratched his head awkwardly. He didn't create any organization, and he wasn't the patriarch of any family. He only had enough money to cover their family's expenses. It was useless if he had more money. Strength was the most important thing. I'm going to clean up Konan's room. Makoto, you cook. Kushina gave Hyuga-chan a white look, and then took Konan upstairs. Makoto looked at Hyuga-chan, who was stunned, laughed, "Hoochie," and went into the kitchen to cook. No, this money still has to be earned, and there is still a prodigal woman like Tsunade at home. Even tens of billions are not enough for her to lose. Hyuga-chan, who had planned to give up, suddenly became firm again. Tsunade's terrifying gambling skills are so terrifying. If they don't make money, their family will probably eat dirt in the future. Turn on the TV, and the scene of the Ninja World War is playing. I don't know which one is not afraid of death, but dares to shoot on the battlefield. Although some things on TV are bullshit, they are also a bit dry. Hyuga-chan watched the TV and analyzed it. The current situation in Konoha is a bit bad. Amegakure Village, Sunagakure Village, and Iwagakure Village actually reached an agreement to deal with Konoha Village together. Whoever makes the country of fire better geographically, let alone destroying the village of Konoha, as long as they can bite down a piece of meat in the country of fire, they will make a lot of money. So I don't know who persuaded who. Anyway, the three ninja villages united and attacked Konoha together. Even the third-generation Tsuchikajinoki and the third-generation Kazekage also entered the battlefield. Hanzo of the Salamander, who had been nesting in Amegakure Village, also showed up, and with the ninjas of Amegakure Village, they united and attacked, causing the unsuspecting Konoha troops to retreat hundreds of miles, causing heavy casualties. Chapter 80 Calculating the Senju Family. Tsunade will be alright. Hyuga-chan was a little worried. Although Tsunade's strength was comparable to Kage level when he went to the battlefield, nothing should happen, but Hyuga-chan was still very worried. Although Tsunade is fine in the original book, but this Hokage world has more of his butterfly. Who knows if there will be a butterfly effect. Example, the previous Kyuubi, Nine-Tails person Jinchuriki column force was replaced. In the original book, Kyuubi Nine-Tails definitely did not go berserk, but now Kyuubi Nine-Tails broke free from control and went berserk. If it wasn't for Hyuga-chan's crippling of Kyuubi Nine-Tails, Konoha didn't know how much he would have to pay to seal Kyuubi Nine-Tails again. Although Hyuga-chan is not familiar with the Second Ninja World War, and only knows a general idea, he is sure that there is absolutely no such thing as the three parties uniting and fighting against Konoha at the beginning of the war. That is to say, another change has occurred. Hyuga-chan himself is strong and does not worry about any changes, but he is worried about the people around him. I knew I wouldn't eat the thunder fruit. If I gave it to Tsunade, I can rest assured now. Hyuga-chan regretted it very much. Go to the battlefield another day, or I won't worry about it. After thinking for a long time, Hyuga-chan decided to go to the battlefield. After eating and chatting for a while, Hyuga-chan went back to his room. He wanted to concentrate on practicing Sage Mode. After several attempts, they all ended in failure, which made Hyuga-chan a little disappointed, but not discouraged. Yin-Yang Escape Hyuga-chan is ready to use. It can condense a black stick with Yin-Yang Escape, but it is still impossible to create life from nothingness. Now the most important thing is to cultivate into Sage Mode, then collect the chakra of the 9 big-tailed beasts, and fuse the chakra of the 9 big-tailed beasts into 10 tails chakra. After cultivating to no avail, Hyuga-chan could only go to sleep. Although he had been failing to practice Sage Mode, it was still beneficial. First of all, the chakra in his body was stronger than before. This way, even if he can't learn Sage Mode, he can enter Super Cage level. Although Hyuga-chan playing Cage level now is like a father beating his son, but Hyuga-chan is only at the peak of Cage level, and has not entered the Super Cage level. After a night's rest, Hyuga-chan woke up refreshed, ate breakfast made by Makoto, and took Makoto, Kushina and Konan to see the house. Came to the house for sale, Hyuga-chan took the ticket in his hand and began to frantically scan the goods. Now the house price is a bit cheaper. Hyuga-chan swept half of Konoha's real estate, as well as the mansion, and only used a third of the money in his hand. Hyuga-chan wanted to take down the remaining half, but the other party had already banned him from buying it, and Hyuga-chan didn't mind. Even these houses could make him a lot of money. Hyuga-chan's frantic sweeping of the house has shocked many people, and it's not enough if you don't pay attention. Hyuga-chan spent so much money, even those big families would hurt their bones. Compared with those businessmen, the ninja family is not richer than those businessmen at all. The expenses of the ninjas are too high. They are not like big businessmen, and they almost make more and more. Although this is the world of ninjas, the richest are not ninjas. Konoha is prosperous enough. Don't you still need to find a big name for funding? So Hyuga-chan's behavior, even the third generation of Ai's Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, also pay attention. The purchase of the other half of the house is prohibited, which is the order of the third generation. When Hyuga-chan does not know the purpose, the third generation will not sell the house to him. At the same time, I was thinking, where did Hyuga-chan get so much money? However, the third generation did not have time to tangle on this for too long, and the situation on the battlefield had already made him sad. Hanzo of the Salamander, 3 generations of Tsuchikajinoki, Tsuchikage assistant Shiheng, 3 generations of Kazekage, Sunagakur advisor Chiyo, and Ebizo, a total of 6 cage-level characters, attacked Konoha. Ordinary ninjas are more. Konoha can only retreat to the frontier, barely making it impossible for the enemy to enter the fire country. But you can't keep back like this all the time. The daimyo has already conveyed his dissatisfaction with him, and if Konoha loses again, the budget will be cut, which will only make things worse for Konoha. Alas, it looks like I can only do my best. Sarutobi Hiruzen brought Danzo to him. What are you looking for? Danzo asked with a dark face. Since Uzumaki Tomoko came back, his face has been dark. Now that his confidant Blood Eagle has not returned, Danzo's face is even darker. Danzo, this is news from the battlefield. The situation is a little bad. Sarutobi Hiruzen handed Danzo a secret letter. Danzo frowned after reading it. Amegakure Village, Sunagakur Village, and Iwagakure Village actually joined forces. How could this be? Now we want to fight against the 2 great ninja villages and Amegakure Village, which is no weaker than the 5 great ninja villages. We Konoha are still unable to do it. Now that the battlefield has been defeated again and again, we must take action to curb their offensive. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed and said, now we can only rely on us to go to the battlefield and stabilize the situation in Konoha. The village of Kumogakure in the north is also about to move, and the situation cannot be delayed. So you and I have to go to the battlefield now to contain their offensive. I hope you don't refuse for the sake of the village. After being silent for a long time, Danzo nodded and said, yes, but I have a request, and that is to bring the entire Senju clan to the battlefield. What? Now the Senju family is lonely. There are only a few dozen people in the whole family, and most of them are genin. Even if you take them, it won't change anything. During the First Ninja War, the Senju clan, led by Senju Tobarama, fought too hard, and now there are not many remaining clan members. Danzo, the Senju family is the teacher's family, you must let them die. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice became stern. Danzo gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a faint glance. Don't forget who gave you the most resistance when you became Hokage. If it wasn't for Mito-san's support, you wouldn't even be a Hokage. Danzo said lightly sarcastically. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. And the people of the Senju family have ever given you face, because they are one of the builders of 3.9 Konoha, when they do things they care about your feelings. Danzo's words hit Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart. The Senju family is no longer suitable for Konoha, and they can only be Konoha's worms. Let them do their best for Konoha, Danzo said indifferently. Alas. As you please, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. Senju Naoki will also be sent to the battlefield together. What? Danzo, you are too much. Sarutobi Hiruzen glared at Danzo. Once Senju Naoki grows up, with the prestige of the Senju clan, wait for your abdication. Danzo said coldly. Are many ninjas and families who have received the favor of the Senju clan. Once Naoki grows up and wants to become Hokage, there will definitely be countless people supporting him, and Sarutobi Hiruzen may even be forced to abdicate.